They're just bad people doing bad things and leading people towards bad conclusions about the world to make it worse. For money. I don't think there's anything more immoral than that. You know, I haven't made a video about this guy in quite some time. The ugly duckling, the forgotten middle child, the weirdo supreme, and failed actor, Michael Knowles, the ugly duckling of the Daily Wire crew, who you don't hear much from, but should not be forgotten. Not because he's worth remembering, but it's important to remember that nobody on the Daily Wire crew is free from being a horrible human being. And I'll explain why once we go over what he did. Recently, as you saw, CPAC happened over the weekend. When it happened, there were a lot of speakers, they said a lot of dumb things. One of the people that took the cake outside of Trump himself was Michael Knowles. Speaking to a nearly empty room of geriatrics, Michael Knowles went on a screed about how much he wants to see the world with less transgenders, or possibly even none. Let's see what he said on the CPAC stage.
There can be no middle way in dealing with transgenderism. It is all or nothing. If transgenderism is true, if men really can become women, then it's true for everybody of all ages. If transgenderism is false, as it is, if men really can't become women, as they cannot, then it's false for everybody too. And if it's false, then we should not indulge it, especially since that indulgence requires taking away the rights and customs of so many people. If it is false, then for the good of society, and especially for the good of the poor people who have fallen prey to this confusion, transgenderism must be eradicated from public life entirely. The whole preposterous ideology at every level.
Incredible. Quite remarkable, is it? I will say that if your customs and religion are based off of literally just hating people or taking away rights of other people, then I don't think those rights or customs deserve to exist. Your rights end where somebody else's begins. That's kind of how it works, and I think that's what this country was, at least should have been based off of. That's what they tried to do, at least. Their values were a little bit different back then, but for us now, that's definitely what it should be. But these people don't believe so. These people don't want to. A lot of these people don't like the country. They don't like the Constitution. They brand themselves as being American. They drape themselves in the American flag as they talk about their rhetoric and their hate when, for one, the flag code says that the American flag shouldn't be used as a piece of clothing. Same way that it's as disrespectful per the flag code to step on the American flag as it is to wear it. Being American, they drape themselves in the American flag as they talk about their rhetoric and their hate when, for one, the flag code says that the American flag shouldn't be used as a piece of clothing. Same way that it's as disrespectful per the flag code to step on the American flag as it is to wear it. And in that matter, burning the American flag is the proper way to dispose of it, not just throwing it away. But it's not like it actually matters. They don't like the rules and laws in this country. They never have, they never will. They want to make them worse. They don't like the idea of like freedom and being able to do what you want. They don't like the idea of pursuing happiness. They don't like the idea of the government. I'm working, pup. They don't like the idea of the government promoting the general welfare, as the preamble says. They do absolutely appreciate the government providing for the common defense, as long as the common defense means providing money to Lockheed Martin to bomb more.
I'm gonna try to make a body that maxes my energy. I need to dodge a lot.
Middle Eastern children, but not when it comes to protecting us from, you know, school shootings, mass shootings, drug overdoses, things along those lines, homelessness. That's not what you need to be protected from. What you need to be protected from is being trans, because it's an ism. It's a big thing that conservatives love to put the word ism behind a lot of words. Everything is like an ism, and everything to them is, everything that they don't like is an ism, and everything that they don't like is like a religion or something. Leftism is a religion. Transgenderism is a religion or something. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. What is transgenderism? What does that mean? People are trans, and that's just factual. Transgenderism is just like the factual understanding that some people are trans. That's just how it is. You can like deny it, you cannot like it. Doctors know this. This is well recorded. This is well known that this is real. You could just, gayism. I mean, like people did stuff kind of like that. Yeah, where they were like, or like the homosexual lifestyle, right? They love to like abstract identities that people are to ideas, and then they love to attack the idea when they're actually attacking an identity to try to make it seem like they don't hate those people, or seem like they don't want to get rid of those people, or seem like they don't want to eradicate, in this time, these people, when in all actuality, they do. He does want to eradicate trans people. Look at the laws that he supports. All of the laws that he supports are reminiscent of like Weimar Germany. And this isn't anything that you can like disagree with. It just factually is. This is well known. You can even look at the Holocaust Museum, and that's even come out to say that it's eerily similar what conservatives are doing in this country to restrict the public lives and private lives of minorities, which is similar to what the Weimar Republic did back before like the Holocaust. Now, does this mean that that soon Ted Cruz and Greg Abbott are going to be teaming up to build like Dallas Birkenau and start like rounding up all trans people and putting them on train cars? Listen, we can barely keep like chemicals on trains. We don't have the infrastructure to move people like that. But does that mean that's happening sometime in the future, sometime soon? Maybe not. I don't know. We already have concentration camps, but that's another talk for another day. We already have something at least somewhat similar. It's called jail. And as you can see, what these people want to do, like what Matt Walsh and what Michael Knowles and Ben Shapiro, what these people are pushing are to make it not to just make it unfavorable, make it criminal to be anything besides like a straight white cis male in public. I already see them trying to do things like banning drag shows. What is a drag show? What does that mean? What is a drag show? And when asked that question, have you seen some of the bills that these people have put through? A drag show is gay people performing in public. That's what they've described in these bills as a drag show. That's what that is. And what does transgenderism mean? It's like saying get rid of like eradicate mental illness or something, which people have said before. Absolutely. They've said that before, 100%. That they want to like eradicate mental. I mean, just look at Autism Speaks, whose entire thing is literally to want to like eradicate like autism, and their prescriptions are to do things like force autistic people to try to act not autistic in public, force lock them down and like tie them in things, wrap them up in things when they're having like meltdowns or when they're having like sensory issues, instead of actually helping them through those issues and working with them and having them live normal lives while having this condition, because they're not worse than people who don't have it. They're simply different. Yeah, electrocuting them. We talked about this. I think this was Australia. Remember the autism cage? Remember how a whole school used funds that were supposed to go towards them, like building a better playground for the children? Instead, they decided to build an autism cage. And yeah, like I said, even the literal Holocaust Museum talking about this. Before 1933, Germany was the center of LGBTQ plus community and culture, with several renowned organizations serving and supporting trans and gender non-conforming people. Hitler's Nazi regime, however, brutally targeted the trans community, deporting many trans people to concentration camps and wiping out vibrant community structures, as trans people are now increasingly targets of discriminatory legislation and hate. Join the museum for a program exploring these stories and experiences prior to and during the Holocaust. These people experienced something incredibly similar to what we're experiencing today. That's just a fact. You can get mad at it. You can say like not everybody that disagrees with you is a Nazi. I'm not sure if I don't know if Michael Knowles is a Nazi. I have no clue. I don't know what he does in his spare time. I do know that he's a theocrat. He may not like Nazis. Possibly maybe because, you know, his boss is Jewish, and also Nazi Germany wasn't religious enough for him. But like the people who are a part of the Daily Wire, they're literal theocrats who want to usurp the Constitution, who want to usurp the country to install their own religious dogma as what's right in the world, and then criminalize living any other way. It's not just we want to do our own thing, we just want to be by ourselves and do this thing with ourselves in our community. They could have done that before. They decided, yes, you're right, they decided to go full Al-Qaeda. And now it's not only we want to live like this, you have to live like this. Nobody was forcing your kid to be trans. You can't force someone to be trans. It doesn't work like that. You can force someone to act a certain way, which is what these conservatives want to do, but you can't force somebody to be trans. That's not how that works. Yeah, there aren't trans. Simple as that. And you can take that up with the medical community. You don't have to take it up with me. There's a reason why none of these people ever quote like actual studies and actual research and actual doctors. There's the reason why you always hear this type of stuff from like loser talking head fail sons who couldn't get by doing literally anything else in the world, so they just decided to talk about how much they hate certain groups of people and how much their rights and liberties should be taken away. Now after this happened, articles came out, obviously, about what this guy and people like him were doing and saying. And originally the article said, Michael Knowles in CPAC speech says he wants to eradicate trans people. And then he got mad at that and he went on like a whole rant about how like all of that is liable and how he wants to sue and how they need to take it down and everything. Unfortunately, here I can show you some of his crying that he did the other day. Holy shit, they all tweet so fucking much. Holy, I forgot how much these dudes tweet. Holy shit. They tweet like every day, all day. It's all they ever do. As you can see, he's all of these guys are like crazy posters. I don't know how they get any work done. Their job is just like spitting hate and like not doing any research. So it's not really surprising that they have a lot of free time on their hands. But 52,000 tweets. 52,000 tweets is remarkable to me. Okay? I'm sorry. If I saw like a 23-year-old like girl who's like in college or something, who works as like in a call center or like at a grocery store or something, I could get you making like 52,000, 100,000 tweets. Okay, like all you do, you like work and then you like hang out with your friends and then you like live tweet it as your like mini open diary, which is fun. Okay, I get it, but like 52,000 is insane. And as you can see, he tweets like all the time. Left falsely frames Michael Knowles' call for end of transgenderism as genocide. Daily Beast, HuffPo, Rolling Stone lie to claim he's calling for the eradication of trans people. No, I foolishly thought people might understand the meaning of words. Yeah, so true, you got him. Benjamin, do you still beat your wife? Yeah, nice one. Yeah, this was the original article. CPAC speaker calls for the end of...
I'm gonna switch back to the other legs.
Calls for transgender people to be
much
eradicated.
faster.
This headline is libelous. I demand a retraction. People say that it is liable. It's not liable. It is literally just what he said. Because you can't just put ism on something and now make it an ideology. Can you imagine if something... What if I said... Because I quote tweeted him and I said we need to get rid of Mike. If I said we need to extinguish, we need to eradicate, we need to exterminate Michael Knowlesism for the good of everybody in the country, for the good of society. Like, what would you mean? What do you think I would mean when I say that? What is Michael Knowlesism?
I got shit. Hmm. Hmm. All right. There you go. All right. Shit. Whew. Hold on. Let's get this little reload.
Him and I said we need to get rid of Michael. If I said we need to
Abort
extinguish,
Michael Knowles.
we need to eradicate
Jesse
we need to
Knowles, whatever his name
exterminate
is.
Michael Knowlesism for the good of everybody in the country, for the good of society. Like what would you mean? What do you think I would mean when I say that? What is Michael Knowlesism? What is that? You know for a fact all of these people would be like the left wants to kill us all if like some prominent like left winger or progressive came out to say that we need to eradicate conservatism in the country. Or if
we're getting a little custom battle
eradicate
arena.
religion in the
Nice.
country. You know for a fact all of
go,
those
Big
people
Daddy.
would be posting like come
Ready
and
to fuck
take
that
it
ass up.
and like posting their guns or something because they would all take it as a threat. They would all take it as a threat.
Come on, take
'Cause everybody
evaluation.
knows- no, like the only reason why he's like wringing his hands and
Let's
crying so much
go.
is because he just doesn't. It's bad for business when you come out and publicly say that you want to get rid of people. You can't get rid of transgenderism without getting rid of people. It's just like what the Nazis did, honestly, with dropping ism on everything, postmodernism and Bolshevism. And all of these types of things. When actually they weren't getting rid of Bolshevism, they were getting rid of Bolsheviks. That's what they were doing. Okay? It is inextricable. This is what happens when you tie identity and try to make it an ideology and attack it. It's just a roundabout way of attacking human beings.
Damn, this
You're
guy
not
is
attacking
nasty.
an ideology, you're attacking human beings. Trans people are people. Human
You gotta
beings.
start dodging more.
And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Anyways, he cried and pissed his pants all day, and he did get what he wanted. He did get a change to a lot of the headlines, but maybe not necessarily the change that he wants. CPAC speaker calls for eradication of, in air quotes, transgenderism, and somehow claims he's not calling for an elimination of transgender people. Which I will say, title goes hard. Title goes hard. It is true. If you replace like transgenderism with any other like identity,
Ooh.
all of these people would be
I was fucking around
would be
too
like
much.
screaming from the top of their lungs that they're going to be killed soon.
I wasn't
all of
even
them.
using my Guan
Literally
Yu.
all of them. Literally every single one of them. And so after that happened, and after all of this came out, he decided to go on a little pity tour.
Let's go, bitch.
Oh, woe is me. Oh, nobody likes me. Oh, the left keeps lying about me. I didn't say anything wrong. And he went on to Charlie Kirk, but Charlie seems to not be able to help himself because he can't stop himself from thinking how funny this whole situation is.
People say, how do we get our country back and all this? You need young, articulate, entrepreneurial truth tellers that are empowered to push the status quo, to push tired old dogma, and you're going to start to see legislative wins and courage happen because of it. I've said this before, the media hates when I say this. Politicians are only reading off the script that we give them.
Also, you're not pushing over
Gotcha.
old dogma.
Shit.
You're a conservative. Your whole policy positions are old dogma. You're literally just reading off the... All these people are literally just reading off of like the Nazi playbook. That's just their whole thing. How in the world can you possibly like restrict the public life and like who's
Damn
being
it,
able
he
to
got
be
me with
seen
that.
in public? Literally ghettoizing an entire group
he has
of people.
that
Wanting
cluster
to put them
burst.
in ghettos, wanting to socially ostracize them, physically remove them from society, physically make it impossible for them to exist in certain spaces in public where adults can
good.
be. And then sit here and be like, I can't believe you guys think that we're just like
He's
that.
got that shield.
Well, stop doing everything that they do and maybe people's tones would change. Anyways.
And the script is largely made sense of by articulate, podcasters or radio show hosts, Tucker Carlson, Michael Knowles, Candace Owens,
Let's fuck that
Shapiro,
shield
Walsh.
up.
We
And all
need
of a
more
sudden now
posters.
Tennessee has accomplished something that would have been a pipe dream a couple of years ago. We went from a conservative movement that was afraid to do bathroom bills in Indiana and North Carolina to now banning the medical mutilation of children. What changed? What changed is now the people who are processing, that are communicating the truth are no longer just the talking heads on TV. There's a new generation of truth tellers, and it has liberated the conservative movement.
It's just not true. There's no big wave of like young conservative. There are a bunch of young conservatives in the country, but it's way less. I did see how he changed his name to Falsehood Eradicator. You're right. He's having a whole fun bit. But here, listen. He'll show you how much fun he's having at the end of this clip. But I mean, there's no,
I'm
like,
getting him
big,
with a sword.
Like young
good.
conservative wave. They proved how little there's a young conservative wave by how absolutely blown out they were when they should have won by like 10 points across the country with Sleepy Joe in office, but they couldn't because their entire thing revolves around hate trans people, ruin trans people's lives, make trans people's lives worse, kill gay people. Sorry, I can't say that. The gay community is a hate movement. They're disgusting and their rights shouldn't exist because we're simply better than them instead of giving anything to actual people. So yeah, they got blown out. It's not that it's not that. Here's the thing. It's not that there's like some new young generation that's so much better. It's simply that conservatives only care about the culture war.
Got a little more health left. Give it to me.
That election cycle.
Oh, got you with the missiles, you poor bitch.
Just look at this fucking guy, dude. Look how sunken in his eyes are. Look at how like the hate inside of him is eating at his soul. All right, and the hate inside of Charlie shrinking his face and eating away at his hairline. Like all of these
I gotta get that upgraded laser blade. That shit's gonna be nuts.
Hateful, sad people. Michael Knowles never wanted to be here. Michael Knowles wanted to be an actor. Michael Knowles wanted to be in Hollywood. Michael Knowles wanted to be on,
Charlie
on the red
Cooker's
carpet and
face.
be seen on the silver screen.
That's tiny face.
Charlie wanted to be here. He never saw a life for him when it came to like getting educated and giving back to society by like helping them by getting educated and then becoming like somebody who actually helps society, like a doctor, a lawyer, a firefighter. Instead of that, he just moves around to the country to hopefully reduce the civil rights of minorities, and that's it. That's his entire being. Is I want to remove the rights and reduce the rights of human rights of minorities, and then that's just kind of it. That's just all he wants. That's all that he's ever lived for. That's literally it, and it's sad. But look how he ends this segment. It tells you a lot about it, about him.
Of truth tellers, and it has liberated the conservative movement. Michael,
Rank
we're out of time.
D.
Best of luck on your
All
genocidal
right.
campaign.
We got a tanky
And
boy.
I'm kidding. Media matters. I'm kidding.
Gonna get him with a sword.
I'm kidding. Ah, have fun on your genocide. Ah, Lamau. Tee.
Lol.
Oh, it's so funny. Tee. We want to eradicate the visibility and communities of minorities in public life. Tee. And then they want to come out and say that it's like our faults or something, or we did something wrong. When what they mean by do something wrong, what bills are they putting through? Besides,
I forgot
you
I have
can't
a sword.
exist in public life.
This guy's
What do we
moving
do wrong?
fast.
Here's what he
All
had to
right,
say
big
on
boy.
top.
I've been called all sorts of nasty things by the liberal press, Tucker, so I tend to expect everything, but I have to admit, being accused of genocide did take me by surprise. That seemed extreme,
It shouldn't have.
even for the fake news media.
Ooh,
I
gotcha.
think it surprised a lot of lawyers as well. The Daily Beast and the Huffington Post and Rolling Stone and a number of other outlets all spread this lie about me. They just put words
nice.
into my mouth that I never said. You heard exactly what I said.
Oh,
I said
gotcha.
the good of these people in particular, so presumably I don't want to murder them. And I talked about an ideology in particular. I'm not talking about eradicating any human beings. I'm talking about an ideology here.
Oh,
They
we
said
got
I
me.
wanted to commit genocide.
I
And
totally
said,
forgot what
this
fucking
is a
weapons I had
libel.
equipped
This
at the
is
beginning of the
actionable
fight.
libel. You know, the libel laws in the United States have quite a high threshold to actually sue. This meets that threshold.
It doesn't.
I'm
Just
gonna
so
hit
you
him with
know.
the melee
It
and then
literally
the
does.
goochin'.
He could try. He'll fail. It is literally what he said.
And then the
It's
gooch.
simply what he said. And he can try and run around it and skedaddle around and tiptoe around the issue.
Let's
you can't
go.
get rid of transgenderism without getting rid of transgender people. Can you imagine, like, how do you get rid of, like, queerism without getting rid of queer people? You have to ask yourself, what do these people want to do with queer people? What do they want to do? What
Oh,
do you, like,
God, he got
queer,
close.
like, queer people exist. Gay people exist. Trans people exist. We know this. What do we do? because they don't want them to get medical treatment. They don't want them to get like the surgeries that doctors say that they need. They don't want them to go get the mental health care that they said that they need. They don't want them to marry each other. They don't want them to be seen in public. They don't want them to be seen either in private. They don't want them to adopt kids. They don't want them to be able to be around children at all, even their own. They want to take their children away.
Why did I do that?
What in the world do you want to do with these people? Because it seems like all of if I laid these all down to you and I put
me.
these laws, instead of them being towards like a group, they were just towards a they can't play sports.
Damn, he's good.
Instead of them being
He's
towards
fast
like
too on those little wheels.
kind of like abstract community, they are put towards a human being. Every single person would be like, you're trying to get rid of this person. You don't put laws like this unless you want to get rid of this person. What in the world do you want to do with trans people? If all of those things are completely off the table and they don't care about them. It seems like what they want to do is for them to be gone. Disappear. Where? I don't know. It's a sort of, you don't have to die, but you can't stay here. So it's kind of, they want to, if their numbers and just so you know, if their numbers decreased and they did die, they would be like, sucks to suck. But do you think any of them would be like, oh, that's bad, we want more of that?
Oh,
no.
fuck this guy.
They'd be happy that there'd be less. But they'd feign like, oh no, it's so sad that they're gone. It's weird. It's almost like instead of them actually having real beliefs and them really caring about people, they simply just dislike, find them disgusting, and want them to disappear. It's the reason why when you bring up it's the reason why you never hear actual studies or doctors about these people. All you hear is them like bickering and getting mad and saying that they disagree and they think that it's gross and it looks weird and all of those types of things, but you never hear.
Damn.
But you never.
I don't think melee is the right way to go. He
like,
is
prescription
fast.
for what to do to these types of people, for like that would actually improve their lives. They just want them to like pretend to be normal.
Can we put the other
and just so you
Gucci
know,
on?
that wouldn't be getting rid of trans
No.
people.
Let's get the what did we have before?
If that's the case, if they just were gone, if they just stopped acting.
Can we get the
on
Gatling
them
gun
being
and the
trans,
Gucci?
they wouldn't disappear. We don't have more queer people. We have more queer people who are expressing that they're queer. We don't have more trans people. We have more people expressing that they're trans. And every single study that comes out that queer community, like queer people, queer kids do better on average, or even better, have better outcomes or on average outcomes than kids in like with like straight couples if the family's all together. Oh, deny it. When they hear that, if kids are on, if like minors are on puberty blockers, if people who are going through puberty are put on puberty blockers, if they stay on puberty blockers for more than a year, there's like a 95% chance that they're going to go on and request like hormone treatment. And and when they request hormone treatment, there's like a 99% chance that they're going to go on and take and like have some sort of surgery or do some sort of like other social transition.
Oh God!
They don't want to hear that because they don't like it. They don't like facts. It all stands in the way of their actual goals. Did a minor edit? Man, it'd be crazy if. Can you imagine if he said this?
Gotcha.
CPAC speaker meant when what CPAC speaker meant when he
Damn,
said
he got
Judaism
me.
must be eradicated.
This guy is
He calls for eradication
fast.
of Judaism.
Holy
Crowd
shit.
goes wild. Judaism must be eradicated. Can you imagine if they said that? Can you imagine? Yeah, that'd be remarkable. People would lose their minds. But hey, listen. Right now, queer people are the okay minority to shit on. Black people to an extent as well still. But queer people, they're the go-to minority to shit on. Like if they, cause like we don't have the protections and the laws for them yet. You need to remember, right, that you are still in a civil rights movement. Just so you know, you're in a civil rights movement. At this moment in time, you are in a civil rights movement. This is like the 1950s and early 1960s is what we're in right now. Like it's where we are. It's what's happening.
Slipping up.
What you're looking at right now,
Come on.
it's a new civil rights movement. Okay? And with that being said, we need to act like it's a real civil rights movement. Because they are. They're playing their role as the hateful bunch that want to take away all of your rights.
Gotcha.
We need to play our role of the progressives who are going to enshrine these rights in the future and for eternity. That's our job. we make the world a better place. Their job is to make the world worse. Our
Damn,
job
it's
is to make the
popping
world
off.
better. It's the game it's the game of politics we've always played. And you don't win by not playing the game. You die. And I'd like all of you to not die. So it is important to do something about this. What's important is a new
Oh my
Civil
god,
Rights
he
Act.
got me.
Preferably a new Bill of Rights.
I
A
gotta
new
put the
civil,
volume
but
up.
that's going to be very hard to pass, an amendment. A new Civil Rights Act is something that we're going to need. Every single group of people that wasn't a white, straight, cis man, rich, white, straight, cis man, landowning, white, straight, cis man in this country had to go exactly what you're going through now if you're a queer person and you fear these bills. You are not alone. Every
Oh
single
my
group of people
God.
outside of that has had to fight for their rights from these groups of people. You're next. And I hate to say it, that you are. But pretending that you're not is not going to make the situation better. Jumping in, making your voice heard,
Oh my god.
and
Oh
changing
my
hearts and
God.
minds is how we're going to make this better. And pushing your politicians to actually put through laws, protecting yourself. That's what's going to make things better. Now it can be sad that this is happening, but you should be happy that we have playbooks and we know what works and we know what doesn't. Since this isn't the first, this ain't our first rodeo. So we know what can happen. And there are people in the works at this moment in time who are making the world a better place. In one place, the first ever solid blue state. When it comes to tracking trans rights and queer rights across the country, we have our first solid blue state. It's soda. It really is. It's not Massachusetts. It's not New York. It's not California. It's Minnesota. It's real Minnesota. This is massive. Tim Walz just made Minnesota a trans refugee state.
Oh my god, I did it
With an
again.
executive
So
order.
fucking
He will
stupid.
decline extradition requests if you get health care for your child. He will refuse subpoenas. No resources can be used to enforce any bans whatsoever. And they're going to make sure that people in that state will get the care that they need. This shouldn't be surprising, and this shouldn't be anything that's like, wow, crazy. It's incredible, and it's great. But we need more. All 50 states need something like this. There are
Damn
a
it,
lot
he
of
got
states
stuck.
that don't. There are a lot of states that are like damn near close to being really bad. Here in Kentucky, the House passed what many people called extradition. Yeah, basically what happens is if you commit a crime in one state, then
Gotcha.
like, you can get extradited back to that state if you're caught in another state. So basically what he's saying is like, if you commit the crime of getting health care,
Oh,
then, and like Texas or Tennessee or something ask to like have them back so they can like throw you in prison for like 20 years or something for getting health care, he'll say no. Kentucky is looking progressive compared to Tennessee. Yeah. At the same time, we have a Democratic mayor, the governor, at the moment. But we
Fuck.
have what was called like, the House passed what was called like the worst
Gotcha.
anti-trans bill in the entire country. It basically wrapped up all the like almost every anti-trans bill that was like,
Holy
passed
shit.
or like proposed into like one bill, and they're just like
back up.
ramming it through. Now, thankfully, we have like a Democratic Supreme Court, so we could shut that down if the governor can't stop it. Is Kentucky legislator gerrymandered to hell? Yeah, every state.
And he's getting
is.
close.
Especially
Okay,
every red
good.
state. But yes,
Holy shit.
it very much is. But we have
Damn,
a
that bitch
Democratic
was
governor, so
fast.
that's nice at least. But with that being said, you know,
Who the
we
fuck
need
was
like, a
that?
national.
Who was the
we
pilot?
need national protection like this.
I wanna
there's
see the
100%
pilots
going
behind
to
these
be-
mechs.
You know that like old photo of the white people standing outside of schools when like segregation got like ended to stop them from getting in? That's going to happen when and if those bills are passed, with like trans people going to go to the bathroom or going to go into sports, right? And it sucks, but it's going to happen. But it's going to happen because these people won't stop. What we need to do is eradicate conservatism in the entire country. That's what we really need to do. But one last thing when it comes to Michael Knowles, and then we'll wrap up. This is what he said on his show himself when he wants to explain himself a little bit more about what was happening. Take a look at this.
That I called to ban transgenderism entirely. I made the point that if you want if you want women to have their own bathrooms, if you think women ought to be able to have their own locker rooms and not have to look at gigantic, gross men while little girls are getting changed, if you want any of those things,
Gigantic gross man. I don't really care. I don't really think I don't really think like you not looking at someone is like worth somebody else's human rights being taken away. Can you imagine if you said this about it? If you want to have clean, safe diners where giant, gross black people, where you can't see giant, gross black people, those rape monkeys, while your little girl is eating her Kraft macaroni and lead paint chip soup, then you should like follow.
Oh, is the stats menu too much for your small American brain? I'm sorry. Maybe you shouldn't have bought the fucking game, idiot. Play some more stupid American games like Crash Bandicoot. Try to do a Japanese accent. I think it was more Chinese. Oh, I want to get that laser. Where the fuck is the laser? Oh, left arm. You know what? Just, where's type? Weapon type. Laser blade, there we go. 210. The scooter. I'll put the Guchin here. Where's the Guchin? And the left arm, you're getting the blade. The BBC. The BBC. Got some upgrades. All right. The fuck?
you have to ban transgenderism entirely. It's not enough to say, well, you have to wait until you're 12 or whatever people are saying now. It has to be the whole thing, because if men have the right to behave as women and identify as women for the purposes of public life, then women can't have their own spaces. And we as a society cannot have our own standards and norms, and we're not allowed to live according to reality. We have to live according to the delusions of these troubled people.
I still don't know. Just so you know, his entire basis for wanting to restrict the human rights of millions of Americans is because at some point in time, a girl is going to go into the bathroom and see somebody who has XY chromosomes. Wow.
Hawkins.
Crazy.
He's gonna be flying a lot. Fuck.
Oh no. Wow.
He's got a sniper and a
people have a
pistol.
right
Oh shit, this
to
guy's gonna be
reality. And
nuts.
I think women have a right to their own spaces.
I remember when I chose
means
that
you
combo in Call
Also,
of Duty.
women will also have rights to their
Let's
own
go
spaces
sexy.
because those people will be women. Or they may not be women. They
Can
may
you
be
stream me
non-binary.
at?
You know, non-binary people already go into bathrooms, right? And also, nobody has
Holy
their
shit.
own spaces. Have you ever
Think I could hit him
heard
with a
or
blade?
seen of like a an all gender or like family bathroom. Have you heard about that before? There are some places that don't have separate bathrooms because there's no need for the space and they just have one big bathroom. You know that, right? You know it's already illegal to hurt somebody? And it's illegal to hurt somebody in the bathroom? And it's illegal to sexually hurt somebody? Like, all of this is illegal.
Gotta practice
already.
with a sword.
This is not interesting. Everything you're talking about that you want to stop is already illegal. If there's like a rapist, a bathroom's not going to stop them. Especially if it's like a
Damn,
private
he's got a
bathroom, they can
crazy
just follow
weapon.
them
It's
in
got a
there
big
and then
area
be completely
attack.
alone and then just lock the door behind them. How many people can I be honest with you? How many people would genuinely like see like an open bathroom and then see like a girl walk into the guy's bathroom or a guy walk into the girl's bathroom?
I at least hit him
and
with
then
it.
be like sprinting over or something and kick the door down and try to like pick them up and throw them out. That's not gonna happen. If I see that shit, oh, you know what I'm
Think
going
I could
to
do some big
I'm gonna
damage if
"Damn,
I
that's
get
crazy."
close.
And I'm gonna keep eating my food. I'm gonna keep walking. Nobody cares. It's already illegal to commit crimes.
To ban the thing entirely. And oh my goodness, what these people say. They said that I was calling
Let's
for
go,
the
bitch.
extermination
Eradication.
of transgender people.
Eradication.
They said I was calling
Damn.
for a genocide against. I said, what? I must have missed that part of my show. When did I say that?
Yes.
I don't know how you could have a genocide of transgender people,
Here it is.
because genocide refers to genes. It refers to genetics. It refers to biology. And the whole point of transgenderism is that it has nothing to do with biology.
Wait, doesn't genocide come from the like Greek word genos, which means race, or like group or something? Wait, oh, genos means people. Genos word denotes species, genus, sort, category, birth, kin, race, lineage, family, generation, prosperity. It's genocide. Holy shit, he's so dumb.
Damn, he got me
Wait,
with it too.
Genocide means gene. That's yes, genocide means genocide. That's when you kill. So wait, no. It's not
Gene murder?
with genocide.
My
when
gene
you
jacket?
kill like an entire group of people, you're
Ah.
not killing the genes. You're just killing the people. The genes are still. You don't know that you can still find the genes on dead people. What are you talking about? The genes are
Let's
still
go.
living. The genes just show the phenotype. What are you talking about, dummy? You can't. The genocide isn't real. Then
How the fuck did I miss that?
What are you talking about? What are you saying? Can you wait? If that's the case, then can you not like have a? It's just so dumb. What do you? Can you not have a genocide of an entire like country? Just wipe out an entire country? What if it's like an incredibly like mixed country? It's genocide if you kill an entire country of people, but it's not genocide if you kill an entire country of people if they don't.
Yeah,
all
that was
have
badly,
the same exact
very
genes.
badly aimed.
This is the genocidal rhetoric that I'm talking about. He genuinely believes that no matter what he does to trans people or queer people in general, that it'll be okay because they weren't worthy of that consideration to begin with. You can't genocide them. It's not possible. They don't deserve, if anything like that happens to them, they don't deserve the recognition of genocide. This man disagrees with the Holocaust Museum, but it's not surprising to me, based on his other views on like. It's not surprising to me based on his other views.
Damn, he got
on
me.
genocide, because we can
Alright,
take a look.
bitch.
Because his old tweets. Remember when I said he tweets a lot? We
This
can
guy's a
take a
real
look at some of
fucker.
those old tweets. Yeah, they're real. Talking about the genocide of the Native American people. There were estimated 100 million Native American people in the Americas before like the Europeans came. Almost all of them are gone now. I think only 10% of the Native American population that was here originally is still here. That sounds like a genocide to me. But Michael thinks he didn't commit a genocide. He negotiated up to 70 treaties with natives. Some relocations went off relatively safely. Some maybe not. Trail of Tears, rounding up an entire like group of people based on, once again, genes and heritage, and then just moving them somewhere else. That's not genocide. What? notably among the Cherokee after Jackson left office. It's not genocide. Hey, giving them smallpox blankets to kill.
I gotta hit
to
him with
wipe
them
them
at the
all
same
out. That's not
time.
what are you talking about?
Come on.
Come on. Christopher Columbus
Shit.
never committed genocide. Also, genocide has existed since at least the first millennium BC.
You're not scaring me
Genocide-
going up that high.
When the word genocide was coined,
I'm gonna hit you with a sword.
when the word genocide was coined, that's not when genocide.
Gotcha, bitch.
Nobody
fuck outta
invented.
Aw.
I hate this man so
Asshole.
fucking much. No one invented genocide. if you're like a Homo erectus or something, or if you're like a Homo sapien and you find like a Homo erectus or like a Neanderthal tribe and you wipe them all out by killing all of them, that's a genocide. Okay? Michael Knowles be like, I would like to speak to the CEO of genocide, please. I would like a seat. I think I would work well with the company. Words have meanings beyond intentions, and those who use them. The hashtag Armenian genocide, crazy, is a genocide, but, which is wild to me, but not primarily, because the category is religious, not racial. Gino, he's been running with this bullshit since at minimum 2018. He has no clue what the fuck the word Gino means. Or Genos. Armenian is not a religion. Muslim Turks targeted not just Armenians, but Christians broadly. If this is the case, then okay, then the Holocaust was
man.
not a genocide either, because it wasn't just Jews who were put in concentration camps. It was also gay and queer people and disabled people.
Damn it.
And old people. Okay, sure, if that's like the word you want to use, but that's not the route he wants to go down. He just doesn't understand what he's talking about. Words have meanings, bro. When words have meanings, the only meanings that he cares about is what fits his personal definitions at that moment. He's so stupid. I hate this man, and I hate Daily Wire. They're just bad people doing bad things and leading people towards bad conclusions about the world to make it worse. For money. I don't think there's anything more immoral than that. And if you're wondering if these
he got it off first.
they're
You
not.
fucking
Here they
bitch.
all
Fuck
are.
you, man.
Historians have shown that adoption was a form of genocide. He doesn't believe in cultural genocide. He just thinks it's a funny meme.
Fuck out of here, pussy.
Indian removal was often brutal, but not a genocide. He just doesn't believe that literally wiping out like damn near 100 million people is apparently a genocide.
Oh, I forgot
because
about
they
my
deserve
Rush
that
attack.
denomination,
That could be good. Come in
apparently.
handy.
And then here's race and creed are different categories. Genos is from the word Greek. Genocide is from the word
You
Greek
fucking
genos.
blasted
Race
me.
didn't just mean race. Is the killing of an ethnic group. It's not just about an ethnic group. I hate my life. I hate it so much. It's about a group of people with similarities. Yes, tribe. It's about a tribe or clan. Like a genus. What about a race? Man talking about genos. He's not a genius. I hate this guy. But that's where we stand. Okay? That's where we stand on this. These are the type of people that we're up against. They're bad people. They don't care.
There's
about
some nice little damage on him there at the
satiating
beginning.
their own hunger for the removal of human and civil rights across the country. They're no different than any other right-wing authoritarian regime that you've seen pop up and get snuffed out all across the world. And we can do it again.
Seems like
When
he's
one
weak to
pops
my
up,
jump
they get
attacks.
snuffed out. And honestly, it's one of two things in how they get snuffed out. Peacefully, or I guess how he would like to refer to as the Native Americans, not so much. They fizzle out, or they get stomped out.
I
And
can
it's
go
one
high
of the two.
too. Fuck you.
Pick your poison. You don't have to, these people don't have to die. I don't want any of them to die, but they can't stay here. In a civil society, Michael Knowles, Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, none of these people have a
Gotcha.
place in a civil society. Not any single one of them has a place. None of them. They should be banished because they just don't want to accept the world that we live in, and they don't want to live in it. They want to ruin it. They want to take it away. That's what they want.
Damn it.
It's much different. They'll hide their intentions.
Oh, I
They'll
saw
say
it
they
coming
need to
too.
hurt you.
Shit, you fucking bitch.
They'll pretend that they don't when you call them out. They'll take your rights away, and then they'll laugh at you after they do, and then they'll
Ah,
say it's
he
your fault.
fucked me first.
This is what these people are. I don't want to take away any of their rights, but enshrining other people's rights is important. It's been done all throughout history, and we've won every
Oh.
single time, and we'll win again. It's how it is. It doesn't matter if it'll take a year or 2 or 10. I'm not going to lie to you and say that no one will get hurt. They will. Laws will pass and laws will stay on the books for too long. A second is too long. But they will be overturned. And they will be undone. And that's a promise. And the more
I gotta
of
be
us are
real
working,
aggressive with him. He
and the
doesn't
more
like
of us
that.
actually care about making it happen, the quicker that'll actually come. So you can be mad and you can be upset and you can be scared. But I want you to understand those emotions. I want you to work through them. And I don't want you to pretend like this is the end, because it's not. If you need help getting out of some like horrific states, there are people out there and there are organizations out there that can help you do that. But we will win this fight. At the end of the day, they are conservatives.
Oh, I'm almost dead. Shit.
They are the antagonists to the world. And as the antagonists, they will lose. We can and will.
Oh,
overcome
he got me
just
first.
as we've done with every single
Damn
other
it.
right that we've had to wrestle from the ruling class in this country, and we'll do it again. Just be you can be happy that it won't be like 200 years of slavery or something, or like the domestic slavery that women had to put up with, and it won't get as bad as literal straight up like Weimar ghettoization. It'll be damn near reminiscent in some places. And those are the places, and those are the people that need our help the most. So it is what it is. Fuck
Damn
you,
it!
Michael Knowles. And the end for your ideology is coming. Michael Knowlesism is on the way out. And I'm happy to watch it go.
I keep forgetting about my blade. I don't know how fast it charges. I could have hit him twice, I
Oh,
think.
sorry. I didn't see you there. If you're enjoying the content, hit the subscribe button.
Let's restart.
If you don't, it'll make Boo very sad. I know a bunch of you who are watching are not subscribed. Join the frenzy. You won't regret it. Thank you, Boo.
All right, gentlemen, the floor is open. Wasn't quite expecting you to go this way, but fuck it, let's do it. Go ahead, Hank, you're up.
I think the ethics stuff comes from like common sense, and I don't.
What
know
the fuck?
Sex is always immoral, but it's something dangerous, not to be.
I didn't know you could do it diagonal.
A lot of times we have this laissez-faire. Oh, you should please the woman, and right now.
It's got a good range. Oh, he's whipping it out too.
Right now, in
We're
society,
swording each other, sword fight.
Over eagerness to please the woman.
It charges up really fast. Holy shit. Damn, he's using it too. Fuck. God damn.
Letting them worry their pretty little heads about politics and stuff. All of this, there's a lot of kissing up going on. Sex, but I think it's self-evident. I think even you know that sex is not really a toy to just flippantly use.
I have a pretty casual attitude about sex for the most part. I feel like most of what you say about sex being potentially dangerous could be applied to literacy as well. This is one
Fuck,
of the
man.
reasons why the Catholic priests during the Middle Ages preached in Latin, which was a
I also keep forgetting.
by the flock that they preached.
I also keep forgetting to pay attention to those
There
little
would be like an
bars
understanding that
charging
it's
to my
going be
guns
like
charging or the
acceptable.
sound.
So it seems like if we're going to shun social practices because they could potentially lead people down dark roads.
Oh fuck! I forgot to kick. I keep forgetting to
The
kick.
point of humans being given free will
And I'm not locked on.
ability to sin or not to sin, that this earth is the playground with which humans, his creation,
God, you dumbass,
determine
fuck
their
off.
moral worth and their eternal reward.
Well, I don't think we have free will, but that's a side point. And yes, I'm not looking to go the opposite extreme, if you will. And I do recognize that knowledge and women getting into education and even males getting into education can be, so-called education, can be poisonous. I have a t-shirt that says knowledge is poison.
Are you a
because people-
Calvinist? Sorry, just curious.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Wait.
I haven't really gotten into Calvin and all that stuff. I read about it.
No!
and
See you.
I do think that we are chosen rather than we choosing God, but I'm not really sure.
Damn
Do
it.
you mind me asking what sect of the church you subscribe to?
Fuck, man, that area
I'm
attack
a
shit.
Christian. I grew up in a Presbyterian, but we weren't serious about being Christian.
God, man.
And I went to my brother's girlfriend's church. It was a friend's church.
They're
Quaker,
so good. I'm just
conservative.
I'm gonna try different guns.
And now I go to J.C. Lee Peterson Church with J.C. Lee Peterson at Bond.
Gotcha. Of course. Brothers. Right. Brothers helping brothers. It's interesting to have such an orthodox perspective on religious theory when you're non-denominationalist. Usually non-denominationalist Christians are people who have a more laissez-faire attitude towards like biblical prescriptivism, you know? They tend to be more of the, like live with Christ in your heart, confess once every year type people.
No, I mean, I think a lot of the Bible, just a lot of the stuff that I referenced from the Bible, it rings true. And the stuff that I'm saying is not, like you pointed out, it's not even necessarily biblical stuff. Some of it's just.
I don't even
sort of
need to
like
change
common
guns or
sense
weapons. I
stuff,
just fucking
and
suck,
especially,
man.
Especially the warning about. I mean, just look around at society today. If you had my quote unquote morals, you would be as horrified as I am at just the degeneracy of the people and the misery of the people.
Well, that's
And-
kind of self-evident, right? Okay, well, if you say, like, if you believe what I believe, then you would believe what I believe, then yeah, sure. But I don't know. It seems like by a common sense perspective, like, people would be fucking more, right? Like, common sense perspective is people want to fuck biologically, and it feels good when they do. So it seems
Yeah,
like, if
that's
anything, you
partly why
need
I'm
kind of
not for this.
arbitrary...
Right, that's partly why I'm not for this pornography stuff. I think that people should
Fuck.
be coming together at a not an older age, like late 20s, 30s, 40s. They should be coming together in their prime and hopefully being mature spiritually, emotionally, and mentally mature at a young age, like perhaps
God,
we
I'm
were
so
more in the
fucking
good old days
slow.
when they
What
were,
is wrong with
and
me?
responsible and having the children. So we weren't.
What the
don't need to
fuck
be
is
bringing
wrong
in all
with
these
me?
immigration
Why am I
stuff
so
and that.
slow with
people
this
actually had
shit?
sex more often back in the good old days, assuming you're
I
referring to
believe
the 1950s and 60s. They tended to have sex younger and more frequently than younger millennials or Zoomers do today, because people like are shut up inside their houses. In
I
a way,
know.
people not having sex is
Fuck,
kind of an
man. God
indication of
damn it.
sexual
Why am I so
maturity.
fucking dumb?
Yeah, I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about not having sex. I'm just saying that it shouldn't be this thing that's worshipped. Because right now it's worshipped more today, openly and shamelessly, than it was in those good old days when they were married and doing it right.
What do you mean by worship? Do you think we worship like
Self
Pizza?
It's like. Yeah, sometimes, some cases, yeah.
well, that's a
But-
pretty broad definition of idolatry then, certainly. I feel like
Yeah.
if anything, you're the one who puts sex on a pedestal because you think it's like this super special divine gift, and I think it's just like a cool.
I don't
like,
think it's a gift.
Cool thing you can do.
But I don't think it's a gift. I don't think it's just
Fuck.
necessarily this. I mean, I have in my older days, and I might still think it. I have thought.
I was trying to use my sword.
because the two become one, and then you notice that. I
Oh
know
my
you're a
god,
counselor
this
about
guy's
it,
kicking my
right?
ass. He's
But
fucking my
many people
ass.
get
He's licking it, tossing my salad, shredding my salad,
Not in a
fucking
quote-unquote
throwing it in a
healthy way.
hydraulic
Well,
press,
what's unhealthy?
squeezing
If
my
two
dick.
people like having sex casually, you know. Now, obviously, there are elements of a relationship that can go bad, of course, but that can happen in marriage too. You know, that's hardly.
God, I'm
exclusive.
so
That can happen in
fucking
any
dumb.
relationship.
God, why did
I
I do
mean,
that?
think about how the.
No, I was
today,
charging up my
many
shit.
Of them are getting older. They're past their prime. They've been taking on. They've been doing the so-called casual sex thing.
Hold on.
They've been taking
I gotta work on my
control of
dodging.
Their bodies, and then when they come out, they can't have babies, or they come out wrong or something like that, then they end up more miserable because they haven't done it the right way.
I mean, you can usually reliably have children up into your mid to late 30s, and even after that, I think there's just like an increasing likelihood of some conditions. I don't know how frequent it is for women to like.
I forgot
actually
what to
take
do.
birth control
Use my
for
sword
years
after the kick.
and
Fuck.
then stop
Wasn't thinking about
not
that.
Knowing that that it was preventing them from having a kid, right? Like you're just like this is like a narrative, right? What if they just want to like fuck? What if they just want to get like railed at club parties or whatever? and then they
I
have-
forgot which button to use my fucking sword!
People in their younger years can live in hell.
Ah.
Think that they're getting away with
Why
it.
am I so fucking
But as they get older,
stupid?
especially the women.
God!
They become
Can't remember the
used,
goddamn
if you
fucking
will,
buttons.
And then they feel used because
I have to be
all
playing
it
this
is
shit for
is
like
using
20
them.
hours before I
And feel
fucking
used.
memorize the controls.
Yeah.
God damn it, I'm
But
so
they're-
fucking
they show
retarded.
you a bit more. Huh?
Well, I start feeling used.
Why didn't the camera lock?
I mean, I'm 28, right? Like, I'm not like young. Surely,
Right.
eventually, it has to kick in.
Come on, my God.
Different people have different symptoms of their misery. It's not like you're a happy person. It's not like you're a joyful, peaceful person. You're not at peace.
I'm not at peace like Reverend Peterson. I'll admit I haven't yet attained that divine level.
My
of
God,
tranquility.
this guy's
But,
so
you know, I'm
fast.
working on it a little bit. I think I'm getting there. Yeah, I know a lot of people who do have the whole trad wife. Like they marry at 22 or whatever, and they're not.
I don't have that much fucking dodge energy.
What if people just
For
want different
sure.
things?
You know what? It does come down to your life, and you have to know for yourself what's right. I will give you that. But this whole what if you just want different things? That's just that's a lazy.
Oh, shit, he's out!
You're not offering any wisdom to them.
Okay, gotcha.
I agree that.
Oh,
that in
he
and
got
of
me
itself
too.
isn't,
Fuck
like, really
off.
Great advice, because you can say that about basically anything. But I feel like I don't know. Like if you go back far enough, there would have been like socially normalized standards of marriage and sex that you and I probably wouldn't have liked as much. That we would have agreed with. And I feel like if we had made the argument then, like, hey, maybe we want to be able to do this, like what we are asking for is freedom of choice.
The
not a
fuck happened
prescriptive thing
there?
For other people. If you want to marry, I would never stop you. But I feel like you politically kind of like hate the idea of people being able to hook up casually. with
Oh,
people.
fuck, I
Or at
sprinted
least
too many
feel like
times.
that. And if that's the case, like, why can't they do it? If they want to make what you perceive to be mistakes, shouldn't that be their right?
Got you first,
I
pussy.
suppose so.
Oh my
we're talking
God.
about morality. We're not talking about necessarily.
Holy
prescription in terms
shit.
Of me ruling the world. So
Okay.
I think that we.
I
mean,
really need to like
we
farm
can
more
get into
money
that,
or
I would-
buy the
I
right
suppose,
parts. I
but
just need
but I don't
more.
wanna get
Fuck,
too
I,
lost in that
I'm so
interest.
stupid. I don't know
Can we
how to
talk
read the
about anal
goddamn
sex before
stats
talking about,
menu.
morality?
I'm fucking looking at the stats and I have no idea how to get my energy up. I want it to charge fast. I want fast energy. I just want max energy build. I think I have to buy a lot of parts too. Shit. Is this like compared to what I have currently equipped? I can't see. I'm assuming it is. Yeah. Core. I need all of this up. I need energy load. Wait. Actually, I need more dodges. Where is that? Where's my energy? Energy capacity. Is that for my weapons or energy supply efficiency? For energy consuming actions. Okay, that would be the boost. Supply deficiency. Supply? What's all these big fucking words? Rate at which En is supplied to the AC. Rate at which energy is supplied to the AC. Improved by the En output spec of the generator and influenced by the total energy load of the AC, with lighter assemblies recovering energy more quickly. So I guess just lighter assemblies for more energy. Man, I'm way too fucking stupid for this game. Maybe I'm too stupid for FromSoft games. I'm just too goddamn dumb. Oh, man. I'm just so fucking bad at this game. 69,000. Let's go to arena. Get the next fight. Probably get fucked for the next 30 minutes.
Sure. I think that it's pretty vulgar, and it's
Well, so just to cut in,
Yeah.
this is a debate on sexual morality, and if Bosch wants to bring up different aspects of what he considers moral or immoral about sexual morality, that's fair table, whether you think it's vulgar or not. Hey,
yeah. No, I said it's fine. I just said it's kind of vulgar. That's just my reaction to it.
I'll keep it PG-13 with the descriptiveness. I don't get the obsessiveness with it, you know, in a negative sense, you know. Like, oh, it's vulgar. Well, frankly, sex in general is fucking disgusting. You know, you get
Yeah.
up close to a person, you're breathing really hard. That's life. But if people are having fun with it, you know, there's that what's the catchphrase? How is anal sex winning the culture war? Like
Who the
everyone.
fuck is this guy?
Straight people like anal sex.
Looks like
Everyone's
generic
been doing anal
bot.
sex for as long as people have been having sex,
Iguazu.
writing down how they had sex. Goes back.
That's not true.
I'll
Goes
stomp
back
his
way
dick in the
far.
dirt.
Anal sex? You like
You said-
thousands
you
of
said
years.
Fuck his
everybody.
mom.
You said everybody.
His hot
Every
older
group
college
of
sister.
people. Not like every individual, but like every group of people.
I know. That's why it's mentioned as no in the Bible.
Oh, he's hopping. The
Christians
fuck
have
is
been doing
that?
it for a while too. Otherwise, Catholics wouldn't be having the issues they've been having. It seems to be a pretty broad.
This guy's real
definition.
bouncy.
And why wouldn't it?
I
you
think
know?
that's a false stereotype. I think that's a bit of an overly simplified false stereotype. And you're right. Christians do wrong many times, but it doesn't. You're acting like it's.
Oh, he's got a
something that's been
shield
accepted
too?
by
Fucking pussy.
people
Put that
that
shit
long.
No,
away.
I'm just saying they do it anyway. You know, it's not like all
Got you against the
Christians
wall.
follow accepted doctrine. to
Most
the
people are
letter.
evil. It's true.
What makes it evil? That's what I want to know.
I don't know what makes it evil, but instinctively it is. It's at least. the
Oh,
disgusting
fuck, you
normal
fucked me up.
sex Produces life. This only produces death and disease and cancer and all kinds of other.
Damn it, that laser blade fucking sucks.
I mean, it's related.
Oh, God.
but more frequently
It's just
related
not
to
for
it,
me.
and it in itself, it's disgusting and wrong. It's against nature.
Well, what's okay?
Exit
So
only, man.
Uh,
Have some logic.
It's
with
against
regards to
nature.
Cancer, I'm pretty sure one of the biggest causes of cancer is like HPV, which is a vaginal sex.
Can we get two
infection that
Goochins?
is after having sex. That's not an anal thing. Like that's.
Let's get
that's
two
for many types of
Goochins.
sex. In fact, funnily enough.
And change the
you know,
core. Can we get a better core
I'm
for
Are
a
you
better?
not aware-
Oh, yeah?
Well, if you'll let me interrupt, are
Oh,
you
sure.
not aware that gay men have so-called gay men? I don't even like that term.
Mind
males who are
alpha?
into that.
And it
are
gives
getting,
more
Or
health.
have been getting cancer and all kinds of stuff.
Boost
from
more
them.
boost
I
speed
heard that
too.
It's from that more often.
Oh shit!
I haven't.
Even
heard that.
Hunter Avallone said that, and he's all into that.
Holy
So
shit!
you
Look at this.
Well, I haven't
aware
read
of it.
every study Hunter Avallone said.
Load
I
limit.
have no doubt. Listen, okay.
Oh
gay
my
people do lots of
God.
wacky stuff. I'm sure a couple of them have found some sex act that gives you cancer.
More than a couple, man.
a good few. I've met a few.
Stick with these
it's
legs.
kind of irrelevant, like with the whole gay thing, though.
You get a lot of
because there are
boost
straight
for it,
people who
too.
Have quite a lot of anal sex
Unfortunately.
themselves.
Go
Yeah, it's-
fuck this guy in his
wrong.
mouth. Just fucking
I mean,
pussy.
at the end of the day, like we can bite
Hit
the
him with
bullet
the
and say,
Goochins.
even if anal sex
The
was like
Gooch.
dangerous or something, and
It's not even real sex. You shouldn't even be calling it sex.
what should we be calling
Aptitude
it?
evaluation
I don't even know.
number 69.
It shouldn't even exist.
Entering
Well,
Glizzy
okay,
overdrive.
what about, blowjob? I mean, that's like that may not be an exit only.
Mech
hole,
seduced.
But it's definitely not
Yeah,
one.
I don't
Penis
think it's-
dry.
Yeah, I don't think it's right. I don't think that men should trust
Sucked dry.
anybody else to. That's disgusting.
But what do you mean by okay? So
We don't live a
disgusting.
dick
Like,
dry
you
around
kiss
these
people,
parts,
right?
partner.
Tell me you're okay.
Show
with
me that
it.
little wiener.
I think
Come
it should be
on now.
avoided because that leads to other things.
Show me you got
Unless
something
you- I mean,
good.
I guess unless you're married. I
Show me
guess.
something spicy, boy.
Okay, so
I know you got some
okay.
You
something
shouldn't be-
juicy
you shouldn't
for
be
me.
Just waltzing right
Come
into
on.
that type of temptation because it leads into other things.
But aren't all things temptation? Like, doesn't every
Oh,
kind of material
goddamn.
pleasure potentially
Giving it to
lead
me.
one to want to
He's
try
against a
new
wall.
pleasures? Even high quality food. Gluttony is literally one of the
Yeah.
7 sins, right up there with lust. But you
Yeah.
would never say like, hey,
Pussy
give me
boy.
tasty food because it might lead
Dodge
you
the
to
missiles.
gluttony. What do
You
you
I
know,
think I'm shooting
you
too many
might-
missiles at
you
him at
might
the
have
same
a point
time.
there. I mean, maybe we shouldn't be avoiding that stuff. I mean, we should aim for perfection. But I think it's quite clear that people fall to temptation when they get to kissing like that.
Or if they eat a nice meal.
And okay,
Try and
maybe
hit me,
one wrong
pussy.
doesn't justify another.
Oh, Okay, so you would concede then that it's a moral wrong to enjoy like
Damn, he's
a
fucking
lot of
sniping me with that little thing.
because
I mean,
it's
it's
a
a-
precursor to temptation to gluttony.
Oh, I'm gonna
Well,
kick him.
Most of the
Fucking
time when people
bitch.
eat a
Hold on.
lobster dinner, they don't gorge themselves necessarily.
But it conditions you to crave the
yeah,
material
you should not
satiation.
worship food. Yeah, you're.
All right,
you're
boy.
very
Hold
right
on. Hold
that,
on. Give me a little
people
space
have
here
a bad
now.
relationship with food and with sex, both.
It just seems like by this logic you could fairly
I'm not saying
say
it's immoral. I didn't say it's immoral to kiss. I said it's unwise.
Hey, you gotta give Bosch a chance to respond.
No, no,
Alright.
it's well. I mean, like one of the
You
one of the
dumb
heavenly
bitch.
virtues is temperance, the ability
Yeah.
to experience
Come on,
pleasure or some kind of
little
earthly
pussy boy.
satisfaction, but not then go like,
Gotcha.
all right, I'm gonna ruin my fucking life with this thing. You know, like you may be proud, but do not.
I'm
succumb
going near the
to pride.
buildings.
You may eat, but do not be gluttonous.
Pussy
You
boy
may have
time.
Sex, but do not be lustful. You know.
I need a
all
win.
that
Right.
stuff. So it seems like if you have a hyper like paranoid attitude
Dumbass.
about any of
Gotcha.
these pleasures leading to
Oh, get
temptation,
against the
you
wall.
have to deny yourself any kind of satiation. But that wouldn't like you couldn't lay claim to that.
Gotcha. Dumbass.
You
Couldn't get
would
away
be
from that.
living like a monastic,
Suck my dick.
right? I mean, you would have to be like
Pussy.
wandering the world with not but a cloak on
Do
your
my little
shoulders,
robot dance.
You know, like taking food offered to you, like that. The degree of like asceticism that you're talking about here is like
Rub my dick on your
like
body.
Buddhist level.
Can't teabag in this
the
game.
Buddha, you know, like
No,
way
just
beyond
rub
what
it.
Christians do.
Scrape it.
Right, I understand what you're saying. I'm not talking about going extreme and crazy, but I'm just it's a fair warning to people about yes, watch your relationship with food, be aware, and yes, watch it with the kissing stuff.
Well, I think
The kissing stuff.
If
Let's-
we're to
let's-
compare
let's-
food and sex, then kissing would be like the.
Let's not be so
equivalent of, like,
explicit.
licking a dinner roll, you
Let's
know?
just
I feel
call
like
it
people tend to go a bit
No.
farther than that.
Lovey-dovey.
Yeah. So clear
So-
that up, right?
So maybe, well, not really, right? I think a lot of us are just as confused as when we started this, right? So maybe we can dive into this a little bit more. Hey, maybe you can inform us where you're getting these worldviews from, and so that maybe Bosch can address them, because some of them are actually fairly foreign to me and to the chat as well. So maybe you can
All right.
inform us about these worldviews, where they come from, why you believe them, and then you still never directly addressed the morality.
I'll take his soul,
which is why is it moral
piss on his
or
corpse.
immoral? And I think that's kind of the heart of the debate in a way. So go
Okay.
ahead.
All right.
Your
well,
family will
I-
never
I
see
say
you
that
again.
sex out of
This is their
wedlock
very
is
last battle.
immoral. And all these perverted sex things.
got a
are
sword.
Perversions. It's not what God
Laser
wants, it's
sword.
not what,
Laser blade.
It's not even what
Alright.
nature
I'll break that
would
shit.
dictate or want.
Come on,
So,
pussy.
It's just self-indulgence. It's using each
Pussy
other.
boy.
And I think that's immoral. As for kissing itself,
Jesus,
I think
firing
that leads
already?
into temptation. And I am not saying everybody should just avoid kissing until marriage. but
Okay,
there
I
are
forgot my
people who
weapons. I
do
don't know what
that.
I'm doing.
And it's not unheard of for people to not even kiss or make out or stuff like that.
Against the wall. Bad
until
place.
Marriage, because it's
And get my explosions off.
in a relationship. in
He's
a
trying to
dating
get his
relationship,
sword
you should
attack
be
off, you little
normal
pussy.
with the person, get to
Oh,
know
what was
them,
that missile?
rather than
It went all the way behind him.
when you're kissing, you're feeding each other's ego
Bitch,
on
back up.
yourselves.
Back up.
And
You
it's,
fucked up.
It is
That is a
getting into,
nasty
like,
missile.
passions and imagination, which is dangerous, rather than
Jesus.
getting to know the person objectively.
Oh
You
my
can see
god, he
it's
got
just
me.
like-
What was that, a
Do you
little
think it would be
scorpion
better
thing he threw in my
and,
chest?
like succumb to less temptation?
This guy's good.
If we
Doesn't have a lot of
use
health, though, but he's
insemination
fast.
instead of having sex. I mean,
Flying
'cause we're
around a
talking
lot,
about
too. He's
kissing
got
right
plenty
now,
of
but,
energy.
Like nutting in a pussy bear.
Try to wear him
that's
out.
a way, like whatever kissing is, that's like 20 times higher up on the whole like temptation to engage.
Come
in
on,
the material
pussy.
Pleasures of sex. So if we did
Back the
artificial
fuck up.
insemination, wouldn't that be like a
The fuck you
like
think
a
you are?
even better way to avoid lust altogether?
Well, my issue isn't about lust. It's about doing things out of order, away from like sex out of marriage. Sex inside of marriage is
Gotcha.
acceptable, I guess.
Well, even
Very
though you
careful.
Right, you have the babies that God gives you or whatever, and and hopefully the
Gotcha.
sex inside of the marriage doesn't become just using each other and
What's he doing? Just
worship,
sitting there, dumbass.
and ego feeding.
Anthropologically, when we go back, it seems like humans'
Oh,
natural
God.
state seems to be fucking pretty awesome.
Oh, okay, I thought he was about to go
Like, you know,
nuts mode.
That's fine.
Even before
He just
marriage
stood there,
is
he
a thing, 'cause
glitched.
Of course, marriage isn't natural.
I'll take that.
Contract
Maybe I fucked him up so bad.
socially that we
Hit him with so many shots, he
Like,
just
people
gave
have
up.
always been fucking,
No.
we're biologically designed
And then his
to
anime
want
spirit
to do
kicked
that.
in,
Like, that's one of the
and
very
then I just
few
killed him in
types
another
of
5
our
seconds.
behavior that are
Poor
like-
guy.
like a fully ingrained.
You are no longer the
like,
hero of your village.
completely- Like that's in every
Romu-
society to have ever existed.
Rokumonsen
Stuff that was
Shinobi.
inbreeding. It's
You're
completely
done.
rooted in
First and
that.
last name.
So, given all that, I mean,
9 chips. Thank you for the
like
chips.
it seems like if we wanted to defer to natural order, we would.
It's
all
like
just
I'm
be
grafting
fucking
his skin onto mine, making
anything
myself stronger,
Outside of the satiation of our natural desires,
taking his
would be,
stem cells.
like an unnatural imposition.
Oh, we got some comms. Hit me
When
with
God
it.
put
You're
Adam
proud of
and
me?
Eve
Tell me you're
together,
proud of
he
me.
married them. So marriage has been with us. Sex is, like I've said before, and I think it kind of is. Sex
Rank
is
D,
marriage.
nice.
You become one. So you should.
Am I going from dick to cunt?
Be faithful.
I've been
And
waiting.
all of that sex stuff. I don't think it's quite as.
I gotta
don't
piss
think it's quite
again,
like what your
but
mind
it feels kind of like a
is
sprinkle.
I
I'm
think
gonna wait a
that
little longer.
You'll notice,
Hold on.
like I mentioned before, kids
Let me get
are
on
not sexual,
chat.
but they get sexualized, and the ones who are in the worst situations, the ones from fatherless homes, the ones I think after the pandemic, kids are young girls are going through puberty earlier. I don't know if it's all the stress or what. They don't even know why, but it was reported that they're going through puberty earlier, and so this is kind of an unnatural thing that is happening, and it's not a positive thing.
I can't really speak to that. I don't know anything about it.
Trying to
I
suck a
will-
little
I will
titty.
say, though, that
Oh.
a conflation that you've made that I often see religious people make is the conflation of God and nature.
Man,
But
my
they're the
Wi-Fi
same
has
thing,
been
not the
some
same thing, even
dog
in the
shit.
canon. Nature and natural will are not.
That was a
God's
real
will.
good battle. Hold
God's
on.
will is that we triumph over nature and be moral in spite of elements of evil that exist within us. Humans have naturally violent and sexual desires, but in the Christian doctrine, the goal is to overcome those desires and to live a moral life, like in spite of the challenges associated with that. But when you say stuff like "do what's natural," well, what's natural has nothing to do with morality. What's natural is like human tribes like beating and murdering and raping each other. That's what we did for a very long time. And then, God is the one who wants us to rise above that. So like you can't switch back and forth between doing what's natural and doing what God wants, because those are decidedly not the same thing. You can't say anal sex isn't natural, because natural is whatever we were doing, and we were doing that. So it is decidedly natural. Same with kissing. We have records for humans kissing that go as far back as we have anthropological evidence of human coupling at all. Even though kissing doesn't serve any.
This is some wild shit to be
but yeah,
explaining to
those are
somebody.
like two, they don't even overlap that much, those categories.
So I beat
Yeah,
about half the
I think
arenas.
You and Hunter Avalon was trying to pull this.
Yeah,
this
beat a
kind
lot of
thing
these
with
fuckers.
somebody.
Almost half.
God
Probably
made
like a
the
quarter.
natural order, man over woman.
Let's
over
buy
children,
some
man
shit.
and woman
Actually, I
together,
wanna
and have
farm.
the children and raise the children.
Let's
That
do
is natural, and it is God's
Let's do
natural
sortie.
order. He's
Replay
nature, and
mission.
nature's God. So,
I need to get
there's
mad dough.
Stuff there's perversions that we do inside of nature that's frequent and common.
Destroy the weaponized
because
mining
of
ship.
Our fallen state, but that doesn't make it natural or according to the natural order.
Well, no, wait, you just contradicted yourself right there.
100K.
If
That's
God is
easy
good,
money.
Then God cannot be evil, but the world contains evil. So that must either be God having created evil existing outside of God, or God giving entities within
100K,
his creation
190,
ability to
attack the
choose,
dam.
which you don't believe in. So you either have to concede that God
Destroy the
created
weaponized
evil,
mining
in which
ship.
case something created by God could be both natural and evil, and thus the natural deference wouldn't be a valid way of defending something. Or alternatively,
Probably
that
do
that
this.
exists outside of
Destroy
God's creation,
artillery
which is, as I understand
installations.
it, a heretical suggestion. So
No.
100K.
these two categories can't
It's a nice little buck.
overlap perfectly. Something is either natural and evil and within or without God's purview, but you can't have something at the same time be
Eliminate
evil,
enemy
be
squads.
natural,
Oh,
but
this one's
also
really
be
fast. I remember
God.
this.
Like it can't be both.
You want so bad to take away this natural word from me. Why is that?
Destroy the
because they're not the same
transport
thing. If you say like it's
helicopters.
not natural for humans to have like anal sex or whatever, well, in nature, humans did have anal sex. So like that's a settled argument. That's an empirical thing. Homosexuality is.
But that doesn't make it natural.
Well, if something isn't natural, despite it existing
Let's do
in
this.
nature, then you're referring
Quick
to
68K.
natural as a kind of
Get some
euphemic
nice money.
substitute for divine, which is what I'm accusing you of. You're making
Right.
up the word.
Okay, well, I'm still going to use it because your explanation was overly complicated, not simple. I don't think you know what you're talking about.
Well, I am just an atheist.
Yeah, you're referencing God and Christianity. Were you raised a Christian even?
No, I was not.
So then you don't have a clue.
Just
You're even less logical than, well, I don't know if you're less logical than Hunter Appleman.
I think Hunter Appleman's a pretty smart cookie, personally.
Yeah, he's smart, but it doesn't mean that he's wise or sensible.
He,
But anyway, we're not talking about that.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right, well-
Let's bring it back on track.
of course,
and-
of course. Let it be known
So-
that I love him, though.
Yeah. So hey, just real quick.
What haven't I
don't mean
answered?
Well, I don't mean to interject too much, but I still think that you have to contend with the argument that was kind of put down on the table of why you think these things are immoral. This seems to be where we keep on driving back to, and so it looks like Bosch was kind of saying, look, you're conflating God and natural, and you're kind of making a conflation of these things. Whether that's true or not is not for me to decide, but I would like to see this question addressed a little bit more thoroughly if we can.
The God and nature thing for
No. The question
the
as to the morality or
the morality
immorality.
of butt sex and all that disgusting stuff. I think I explained that pretty clearly. I did point out that there's things that are permissible, perhaps, like kissing and stuff like that. I don't think it's wise to get too into that. I think you should be watching yourself and avoiding falling into temptation. And he brought up food, saying, well, you're probably more laissez-faire about food, as though that's a justification. But yeah, I think that people need to watch themselves morally with their relationship with both food and with sex, because these are hang-ups. And when you have hang-ups, you're not your own man. And when you're not your own man, you can't be following God.
Actually, I wanna touch on that. So,
Okay.
with regards to temptation, okay? So I think you said earlier you don't think there's anything inherently wrong with having sex or whatever. It's that it leads you in bad directions. The temptation puts you like in a bad way. So I guess I would wonder, like, if you had a human, like a man, let's say a man, because I know you're preferable. If you had a man who was perfectly free of temptation, like they enjoyed the fruits of the earth, but they were just not subject to demonic influence. You know, they could eat anything, do anything, and they would be pious through and through. What do you think it would be okay for them to do if there was no risk of them falling into anything worse than what they've already done?
I don't understand the question.
Like, if they, like, say there was a person who wanted to just fuck around and just fuck hot chicks, you know? And he could do this, but he's a deeply pious man, and he loves the Lord, and he's capable of having sex without engaging in idolatry or worship, without weakening himself. All the negative side effects, he can control them. He has a strong enough will to fuck without it draining him ethically. Do you think it would be right for him to do so because he has the temperance to manage that level of indulgence? Or do you think that even the threat, even if it's not happening yet, like you can't even try?
I don't really like these imaginary scenarios because this is not based in reality. But I imagine that such a man wouldn't be even interested in that at that point.
Are not men of the cloth interested in fine dining? I mean, I may not be a religious person, but I have had friends.
But men of the cloth aren't this imaginary man that you just described.
But they do partake in delicious meals, which is, as you even acknowledged, a precursor to gluttony. So if you have bishops and priests and rabbis, whatever you may think of them, willfully partaking in many pleasures of the flesh, which are not sex, wouldn't, and then still continuing to be great advocates for their God, would it not suggest that it is possible to willfully indulge oneself, but still be, a pious man free of temptation?
Under the order of God, if they're married, the husband of but one wife, is like the New Testament talks about. The leader of the church should be the husband of but one wife, meaning they're under control. They're not going wild with it, doing it out of order.
What if they? The reason I bring up food is because I know that despite gluttony and lust both being sins, people tend to be a lot more permissive with.
I understand.
Right.
Yep.
So obviously, for me, I think it would be equally applicable with sex. And there are probably more people with eating disorders in America than there are people with sex addiction. Though I don't have any hard.
I don't know.
I don't have any hard data on that. It kind of depends on where you draw the line. Only that frankly, it just seems incredibly arbitrary. We're put on this earth by God. We have a finite length of time during which to demonstrate our character, and it seems like of all the mortal sins we can commit, of all the things we can do to defy the will of God, murder, rape, torture, whatever, we do horrible shit to each other, and then it's like, okay, yeah, also don't suck a dick, don't do anal sex. It just seems bizarrely arbitrary. If it's a personal code you'd like to indulge in, that's fine, but I don't know how you can fairly argue that other people are suffering for their indulgence.
Oh, I mean, look around the so-called LGBT community and the people who are loose, morally, sexually, the so-called straights are miserable.
They're not
using each other,
actually
being
gay
used, they're
trans or any
into,
of that.
They're hooked.
Oh, I have
on
more
it.
chips.
They're hooked on
Forgot about that.
the pornography and all that stuff. They're not. They are suffering for what they're doing.
And why is it that generally homosexuals are more unhappy when they're in the closet not having sex than they are after they come out of the closet and begin having sex?
That beginning point feels like a relief to them. I imagine. This is what I've heard about transgenders who, when they first so-called accept their transgenderism, it's a great relief because they finally accepted who they think they are. They finally quit fighting. That's why they're less miserable for a time in those early days. But who knows? Sooner or later, they're suffering in ways they don't know. They're suffering
in ways that statisticians don't know either. To my knowledge.
Yeah, statisticians are liberals, and liberals lie, and they're not about truth or finding the truth.
May I ask by what evidence you're suggesting they become less happy over time?
Well, look at how angry the average radical homosexual is. They're just nasty, vicious, malicious people.
I think they're nice.
You think they're nice because you're nice to them. You agree with them.
Oh.
Have you seen how they treat the Christians?
Well, I can't imagine why they would be angry at you. Perhaps we're
There's no
disagreeing
reason
on
for
things
anger.
they consider quite important. Right. Well, regardless
I understand
of
that
why
the Christians
they might be angry.
that Christians have not always been right in how they fight.
Oh, I can
But
put on the Gatling
gays
gun
are
now.
Quite nasty, and they're doing unto others what they imagine was done unto them, or something like that.
They're preventing
just
you from having
vicious.
sex?
Nobody prevented gays from having so-called sex.
They
Please.
were subjected to anti-sodomy laws and arrested and sterilized
Good.
by the state.
Good, for their own good.
Well, that would be preventing them from having sex.
That's.
This
that's
guy
not
is
actual sex, but
nuts.
that's like, this is kind of.
Hey,
Oh
hey,
my
you're
God.
being
If they were
female-minded
caught-
right now. Come on.
No, hold on, listen.
You're being
If they were
female-minded.
caught- hold on, man. If they were caught,
Fucking
you,
bitch!
you shouldn't be shameless about that, anyways. Part of the thing
Sweet
is when you
16,
allow evil,
goddamn.
evil just grows.
The
and starts to
napalm.
become more
That
and
shit's
more demanding.
nuts.
Now they're forcing the Christians into the closet just for being decent and saying that this is wrong.
Keeping you from having sex?
No, but sex is not the end all.
Wait, if
They're
they
keeping
kept
us
you-
from our freedom of speech.
If they put
That's
you
more
in the
important. Your freedom of speech is more important than so-called sex.
I agree with that. If they put you in the closet and kept you from having sex, wouldn't that be them being Christ-like? Because they would be because you said
But I didn't
gays.
say they were keeping us from having sex.
But what if they did though? What if the gays? Would that be good? If the gays kept the straights
No,
from having
man.
sex?
Well, they kind of are because they're pushing this pornography thing, and you see, the kids are remaining kids until they're 30. Look at you, man. They're
Yeah,
not-
and make a living playing video games.
I know, and like it's a widespread thing that people are getting older and older and not marrying, not having kids, and that's not good for society.
Because of
That's more
homosexuals.
impact, obviously, right?
I'm not blaming just the homosexuals. There's
Yeah.
more than one way to be evil,
There's at least two or
spiritually
three.
and sexually. What's that?
Oh, there's at least two or three, as I understand it.
Whatever.
I kind of like the weapons that I have.
The,
Where were we? What happened?
Might want to check the
Oh, goodness,
shoulders.
No, it doesn't matter what you have or haven't answered.
Might wanna try
it's
some
all
of these
about the
front
vibes,
ones.
which is a very homosexual thing of me to say. I'm sorry to say.
Oh, look at that.
So with regards to the
Nice
ethics,
area effect.
I do have to ask, why you say you don't believe in free will. Normally that's a pretty standard part of Christian doctrine. There are a couple of sects that don't believe in it, like that's why I brought up the Calvinists earlier.
Oh,
and
that's
a
what
pretty
he
critical
was
distinction,
using.
because
I
usually
want
one of the
that.
strongest arguments. You said you were in
Do
favor of free speech, but most of your
attack
positions
power.
seem
Let's
to
see how strong they
contradict
are.
with an advocacy for.
I think it's time to upgrade my
individual
missile
rights,
launcher.
Either you believe people should be able to make their own mistakes, or you don't. There's only so much like leverage you can put in there to selectively affect different communities. So people want to have sex and, according to you, ruin their own lives. Is that not their right as American citizens?
I suppose you could say it is their right. It's not. Now we're getting into like policy a little bit, but I'm fine with it. I say that this is not good for society, and when you let evil out of the closet, rather than people being quiet about it, not accepting it wrong as right, having some shame, having some dignity, it gets worse. It grows. We've seen this. The slippery slope stuff that the 80s
All right,
Christians
I
were
can put on
warning
the,
about is real, like
get
the
my new
child
back muscles on.
sexualization and all that stuff. They said,
The
"Oh, we're not
Hooben and the
looking for same-sex
Gucci.
marriage."
Hooben
Sure
and the
enough, they were.
Gucci.
And we're not gonna. There's all kinds of.
Nice.
I think they were
Nice.
saying they
Evil
wanted
growing.
same-sex
Power
marriage.
Ranger,
I think they were
ready to
pretty
fuck.
explicit
Decades
about
back,
the
I don't think
same-sex.
that they were.
Penis open.
Depends
were
on who you've
pretending
been
not to
listening
be.
to. Wait, what were they arguing for if not same-sex marriage? That's been like
I
the
don't
main
remember.
thing for. Okay. I feel like that's been the main thing for a while, and of course, now we're talking trans rights, and it goes on and on, which is brilliant
Yeah.
stuff, right? I mean, that's the advocacy of civil rights. We used to argue about whether or not slavery was moral. Before that, it was the monarchies. We had the Reformation. Before that, the Protestant Reformation. No, you'll always find whiners, no matter how far back you go. But generally speaking, the world turns out a
Oh,
better
I
place.
think I should make
for
some
those
different
whiners.
builds.
No, man. We're not better off. Nobody's better off for the so-called civil rights movement, or
We're not ready
or
just
this
yet.
LGBT stuff. It has not been.
Oh,
good
not
for
the
society.
LGBT stuff.
Gotcha.
Blacks are worse off.
Trigger
after
warning.
The civil rights movement, and the LGBT people are more.
I
miserable.
prefer if we steered clear of
Okay.
the
The race stuff.
racial argument.
Okay, I do have
It
the
really
best
has
thrust
nothing
stuff.
to do with the,
Wait, what is this? This stuff
Let's
looks
talk
better.
about the sexual revolution.
QB speed.
Since we touched on this.
Yeah, the 60s,
Not
birth
really.
control, all that.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Supply
That hasn't been
deficiency.
good for society.
I think it's been
Crime
pretty
has
good.
gone out of
Doesn't change
control.
much.
The
What is
wait,
it supposed to
Let's,
change?
if we could, let's.
Go ahead.
Right, point by point.
Yeah.
So crime boomed with.
Okay, I was going
drug
more for the
war.
range assist. That's what
a
it's
pretty
for.
directly attributable factor there. I don't know if you can really attribute that to the sexual revolution.
Single mothers.
Well, single mothers have gone up, but it's really difficult to know whether or not that's a good thing or not. Because it turns out
What
a
is
lot of these single
supply
mothers are just
deficiency
women
again?
who would have been in miserable marriages beforehand. And I don't think it's right
No,
to
man.
consign a woman
By
to
the
a horrible domestic
Higher
life
values
for the rest of her
enable
existence.
faster
You know, because she made a
EN
mistake in
recovery.
marrying a man back when like she was like
Faster
18 or something.
recovery.
That seems pretty messed up.
No, yeah, no fault divorce has been bad for society, and I don't know if you're ignorant or being dishonest, but single mothers are the ones who are
So I gotta choose.
disproportionately raising the
Oh,
thugs who are
wow.
doing these violent crimes.
Why do you think there might be a relationship between single motherhood and criminality?
It
Because
really
mothers
takes down my
are
stats,
pushed-
though.
They're
The
angry,
speed,
stressed out,
reload
and pushing that anger
time.
onto the kids unprotected by the fathers.
Then
So
why?
the-
Then why
Attitude
is
the
it that
boys,
recovery.
single
so the
mothers?
boys go out, act out and go crazy, and the girls go crazy too.
Well, then why is it that single mothers in wealthier
That's a
neighborhoods
lot
don't
of
see nearly
capacity,
as
though.
significant an increase?
We'll check that out. We'll
in,
see how it works. We had the
criminality
Ming
with their
Tang on before.
Because the evil
We'll
comes
try
out
the
in other
20D.
ways too. There's all sorts of ways. That
Oh.
you think they're not? You think they're? You
We'll
think
try
they're
that out.
happy with their single mothers?
No,
These,
wait. I agree with what you just said. The
Yeah.
evil comes out in other ways. Or to put it another way, the evil of criminality is something associated not with single motherhood, but rather with low-income households.
Please.
Well, that is
No,
what the
now
data
you're just-
shows.
You could say that, but it's by and large the single mothers are poorer
No.
because they're not. But I don't believe that this poverty. I don't believe this poverty causes crime thing. The mothers are angry.
It's a
and
difficult
whether
thing
they're
to not
rich-
believe.
What's that?
It's a difficult thing to not believe. The greatest indicator of crime in America, and not just in America actually, everywhere, like everywhere on earth, is income inequality. It's not people being poor or people being wealthy. It's poor and wealthy people being next to each other because it causes social issues. Wealthy and poor people both rely on different types of social services, and they rely on different types of infrastructural investment. And usually, services are deferential towards the wealthy in areas with both wealthy and poor people. So what you get then is a divide where poor people exist and are underserved both socially and economically. And that tends to be what causes crime because there aren't enough jobs to go around for the poor people. After the drug war and the availability of crack cocaine, which ramped up, in the 1980s, there were a lot of non-jobs available in inner city areas. And what are you going to do if you're a young man in that place but trade in the drugs?
This is pretty good.
Because it allows you to feed your family, which is a pretty noble
I can stay
thing.
close range,
right.
keep the pressure up.
You're being silly right now.
Am I?
You're running in circles to avoid giving any responsibility to the evil of the mothers, and you're also acting like this correlation is causation. It's not.
Damn.
It is true.
It is
You
fucked
can't
him right in
make
his
it
little
There's
so-
a lot
mouth.
of exploitation of the class warfare stuff that is. These people are misguided and misled. You look at the individual lives of these people who are raising the criminals. They're out of control people. You can see why they became criminals.
This seems like a
And it's not this
spurious
noble thing. I
anecdote
wanna-
on your part.
What's the anecdote?
Well, you're just sort of talking, right? There's plenty of data on the relationship between criminality and income differentials.
Correlation
in the
is
area.
not causation.
It's
man.
true. It's impossible to directly determine causation, but this is a very strong
It's not
correlation.
impossible. It's not impossible, man.
With a factor as sociologically
If you have common
complicated.
sense. if you
Damn,
have
that does a
common
lot
sense,
of
you can
damage.
see
And I was
that
shooting
there's
him
Say
a-
it
too.
again, Hank.
Yeah, you gotta also, hey, try to give Bosch a minute to respond to what you're
All
saying
right.
here, because you made a lot of points.
Yeah, I don't mean to ramble or nothing. But common sense, a deference you would expect from a woman. Hey, come on. No, we're talking hard data. Us masculine brains can handle stuff like this if we put our mind to it. No, of course, when it comes to sociological stuff like this, it's like there are so many confounding factors. So many potential explanations. Of course, you're never going to get a 100%
That's pretty fun to
correlative
play with.
positive relationship. You can get strong ones though. And we're talking again about the sexual revolution here. I don't even think the sexual revolution was necessarily the thing that caused the divorce rates to go up. It was just the end or the beginning of no-fault divorce. The ability
Not a
to
good
just-
idea.
Right. So I have to ask you then, why should earlier you said you want to talk morality rather than like policy, but you're defending bad policies here. Why
What
should
policies?
well, you, I assume, would want to get rid of the ability to file a no-fault divorce.
Yes.
Right, that's a policy. So that policy. Which it seems really odd to me because, like, if you made a mistake in who you married, why shouldn't you be able to divorce them? I mean, has your reverend not benefited from the existence of this policy?
More energy
No, he's never been
consumption, but
married.
it's actually
He
pretty
was
good.
engaged twice, but never married.
How many children?
doesn't
Damn, those
believe in-
legs
he
are
doesn't
those
believe
legs
in
go
divorce.
hard.
How many children?
Oh,
does
some
the reverend
danky
have?
legs.
He
What is
made one
this?
child out of wedlock at 18.
Not as good as my shit.
And if he had married with that woman, the woman
Might
with
come
whom
in
he
handy,
no
though.
longer
Intended
speaks,
Some
to.
nice legs
which
up
he
for
did.
sale.
But then he
Where's
cut
the double
contact with her,
jointed?
right? Or she
Think
cut
that's
He
contact
did
it.
with
not
him.
cut contact with her. The mother of that woman made her marry the
It's these,
child's
yeah, reverse
stepfather
joint.
rather than wait and marry Jesse.
Would Jesse's life have been better if there had been no choice involved, if the marriage had already been cemented and there had been no room to back out afterwards?
Who knows? That's a what if.
Hmm.
It
This
is a
could be
what if.
my jam.
I generally think that people are better off when they have choices in their lives.
That's why you take this choice to get married seriously.
Yes, but any choice capable of extending over the length of your lifetime is a choice that you might eventually end up regretting. Nobody can know what they're going to be like 30 years in the future. No human can, no matter how responsible or well prepared you are. People change with time. I think it's horrible.
I'll try
the idea-
those.
Don't get me
Can I
wrong,
favorite it?
People who stay married their whole
No.
lives, I think that's a wonderful thing. You know, matrimony and all that. But
Yeah, it takes down my
if
defense.
they want to leave,
What is it? Takes
why
down my
consign them to
AP
that
armor
fate?
points.
And why consign
Yeah.
the children to an adolescent
Takes down my armor
surrounded by
points, my
parents who hate
defensive
each other?
performance.
That's also a high predictor, by the way, for crime.
But it just gives me
Um,
more.
when
I
children
gotta
see
try.
their
I gotta try
parents
the
go,
reverse
like
jointed.
marital-
I heard a lot
marital
about those.
instability between their parents. That's something psychologically that's often a precursor to other problems. Because
That's
these,
I
why
beat
we need-
everybody in the
that's why we
arena.
need-
Suck my
That's
dick.
why we need morality.
what if they just don't get along?
Let's get some more money.
That's not even a moral thing. That's just
Yes, it is a
interpersonal.
moral thing.
Let's do this mission.
You
Where's
Not getting along? You're acting like two adults can't suck up and accept their lot in life.
for their whole lives to be. So you're not even talking about getting along. You're just talking about like forcing it for your entire life.
This is all like a what if thing, but yes.
Well, it's a what if that happens, right? There are
Be-
plenty of unhappy married couples out there.
Right, and you know why they don't get divorced.
Well, I think they should. There are a lot of children of unhappy couples that say they wish their parents had just gotten divorced because they would have much rather have been raised by one parent than raised by two parents who hate each other, which thus give them a really fucked up view of relationships. Like
But you're
imagine
com-
I
what
could
a
fly
kid
high
in a
as fuck,
relationship
look at
would
that.
Grow up with a man and a woman who
See
hate
how many
each other.
dodges I get.
That's gotta set you down the wrong road.
Damn, it charges up quick. What the
But
fuck
you're
was that?
comparing evil to evil, and you're giving us a false dilemma.
It's not evil to dislike a person you married. Humans change.
I know, but you just admitted that it isn't evil that the kids suffer. I'm using evil in the sense of it's a misery.
The evil
Takes a
is
couple
staying together.
seconds, but it
They can
zooms
shift.
right up.
I'm saying, but that's not a solution.
If
You're
two people
comparing
don't
one
like each
evil.
other,
You're comparing one evil, which is divorce, which children of divorce don't tend to do well, and to the evil of them being miserable and staying together, which is the same thing. You're
They
basically
destroyed the
comparing
rock.
same
Holy
thing.
shit. I
if
gotta
it's
go.
the same. Let's say it's the same thing, which I don't
Well,
believe.
it's not exactly the same thing because you just described that they stay together and they get miserable. I caught that point.
Right. If we were
Holy
to believe
shit.
that would lead to the same outcome for the children, do the parents not have a right to find other people who they'll love?
The parents don't have any love. And that's why they're.
Oh
that's
my
why they're
God, that
miserable
thing is
together. They're not gonna
strong.
be
They should
happier
find
with
new
somebody
people.
else.
Let's
No,
restart
they
the
shouldn't
mission.
Find new people. If you don't have love, then you're not gonna love somebody else.
Do you love me, Hake? Would you fuck me?
No, that's wrong.
But you could love somebody else.
But that's not love anyway. You shouldn't get married for this quote unquote love thing. That's a fake idea. People don't know what love actually is.
Interesting. I believe what you're saying right now, if I'm not mistaken, is heretical. The idea
How so?
of love is a bonding mechanism that God gave human beings as a way of encouraging, like the love humans feel for each other is a reflection of the love that God has for all men. By denying the existence of
No.
love, especially as a precursor to marriage, I'm pretty sure you're turning your back on God's love.
No,
Ooh.
man, because the men and women who get married, they don't tend to love each other. but they hopefully they start to actually love each other, right? Normally they're into sex or some other thing, and then hopefully they overcome the sex and find actual love.
I think you might be
Which
projecting
is-
some of your feelings towards women onto other people, because generally speaking, I think when people marry, well, there are a lot of reasons why people can marry, of course, but I generally don't think people marry for the sex. Like, you can just fuck people if you want.
I know they're hooked though by the sex.
I can just have sex with people.
Who the
without
fuck is
marrying.
this?
Why would I marry someone if I just
Little
want
dickhead. What are you doing over here?
But a lot of people want to be more traditional than you. Even the so-called gays, they want to be more traditional than you. So they think that they think that this marriage thing will be their
Shit.
family that they want, the love that they want. But they're looking for love, and they think that they have love. But that's not the kind of so-called love that human beings have towards each other. As you just admitted, 30 years down the line or less, it sours. That's not love. Love lasts.
I don't think
That's
anything.
different.
I'm
different from God's love.
coming.
Well,
think
God's
nothing
love
lasts?
is eternal, sure, but I don't think
Yeah.
that any interhuman love lasts. Humans change. And I think that we should have a right to find new partners for ourselves when we find that our current partners, and I, or you, or whoever else, no longer have much in common and don't get along that well anymore.
That's gay. Partners is a gay term.
Gay.
The divorce and remarriage.
Hey,
Gay, bro.
I'm gay. Of course I would
No,
say
you're not.
partners. Hey, the last sexual interaction I had was me sucking cock, okay? I'm gay enough for you. at least.
TMI.
Um,
But my point is, this divorce and remarriage is part of that immorality. It's selfishness. You're thinking, oh, the
fucking
grass is
blinded
greener,
me
but
here.
that's leading to more misery.
Well, it seems like misery in this case is being caused by the expectation that people stay together in perpetuity when they don't like each other. If people could just remarry and find new love, wouldn't that solve the problem right there?
Clearly, that's what they're been trying to do for the past, I don't know, how many years, how many decades, and that hasn't helped. In society, people have been divorcing and remarriage, and that has not. People haven't been
You gotta go down there.
happier. They're more miserable.
I
They're more
think generally
mentally ill
speaking,
and all that stuff.
when you ask people who divorce if they're happy with their divorce, they almost always say yes. The people who initiate the divorce, they don't tend to regret it down the line. So while many things have changed, I think if we isolate the specific of the effect of no-fault
Yeah, I'm
divorce
fucking this guy
filings,
up. Getting
the
in those
outcome
guts.
tends to be good, right? There's a reason they divorced, right?
No, how is that good just because the person who filed the divorce feels happier, which is most of the
Oh,
time
boy.
that's a woman.
Sure.
He's
Is that
mad.
not their
That doesn't.
right?
I don't believe so. I don't believe it's a right. I don't think that you should have a. I don't think that human beings have a right to divorce
Do you think people
like that.
Do you think people have a right to pursue
But
their
look at.
happiness?
But you're just looking at the woman. You're looking at the woman. Oh, she's happier. Therefore, it's a.
God
better
damn
outcome.
it.
But you're not looking at the children, the father who gets screwed over. and
Thanks for the
you look-
autopilot.
Like the generations have gotten.
Hey,
like
I'm just gonna
society, I
come by
think,
here,
has
cheat
gotten
real quick.
Worse, and I don't know if you see that.
Well, I think that society has gotten worse in many ways, but the freedom to choose your partners is probably one of the few things that has gotten decidedly better. With regards to the children, you know, I think the real thing
it
that we
hasn't.
need here, you know, you're concerned about people who grow up in a single-family household, and you should be, because it sucks. to grow
Single
up in a
mother household.
Well, results are pretty bad with the father as well. Though you just tend not to see single. You tend not to see single father households because usually the women are
Right.
the ones who take the children.
Bad
But they're-
idea.
Well, the outcomes are bad in either case. So in terms of whether it's a good idea or not, you know the reason that
It's better
divorce
for the
courts,
better with the fathers.
the reason divorce courts tend to favor women isn't actually because they're sexist against men. It's usually because men don't actually want the children. That's overwhelmingly the reason why women get it in the divorce settlements. It's because the men don't even want to raise the children. So the women are the ones being.
I don't know
godly
if
there.
that's. No, man. I don't
They
know if-
are. The
I
men are.
don't
The
believe-
men are abandoning the children. The woman.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are. Wait,
No, they're not.
They totally are. Yeah, they
No,
have the
they're not.
divorce proceedings, and the mother wants to take care of the kids, and the father's like, no, I want to go back to living the bachelor lifestyle. They're godless, Hank. They're female-minded, but the actual female there is the one who stands up and takes care of the kids.
But she's not. She's taking care of herself.
And the kids.
That is not true. Well, I don't know about the statistics on how many say, oh yeah, go ahead. Maybe they just don't want to fight with the woman. over it.
Nice.
But there are a lot of men
Fuck that
who
shit up.
want their children.
Get
and
my
the women
money.
Make it hell for them. And
Get my money.
I would be surprised
Yeah.
if you didn't know that.
Well, certainly in the case of millions of divorces, you're going to have instances where that happens. I'm only describing something that happens quite often.
Don't be so dismissive.
I'm not. I'm making, of course, I'm being a bit flippant
And there's
here.
no such thing as sexism anyway. The
Gotcha.
courts are female minded. It is true, but anyway.
At
I
any
think
rate,
we've established that.
People complain more about the unfairness towards men in these courts than is actually warranted. A lot of men just want to go back to fucking, like chicks they pick up from the bar without worrying about kids. And don't get me
No,
wrong,
man, I don't
somebody who
believe that
likes
it's. I don't.
fucking chicks from bars,
I don't
get it.
believe that they're complaining more than is warranted. I don't think that. I think you're speaking a little bit ignorantly and overly flippantly on that issue.
I will admit I'm speaking flippantly, but I feel like it's proportional to the tone of the conversation. But I could be more serious if you would prefer.
No, I mean, I'm just making a point because there are a lot of men who want their children.
I think that whoever
and
is the
you're-
better
and you-
parent should
and
be the
it's
one
so
to get the
silly.
children.
It's so silly to pretend these women are being godly. Give me a break. They think they're God.
Well,
but they're,
if you make the choice to take care of kids when you know it's going to be very difficult as a single mother, I would say that's a fairly noble thing to do. Wouldn't you say?
So noble. They're getting subsidized like crazy, subsidized by the father and the government.
Yes, single mothers are just resplendent with wealth. That
they're,
is how
they're
it works.
spoiled.
That's why
Indeed.
women are lining up to be single mothers these days. It's definitely
Yeah.
something they actively
You
fight
boys
for,
good?
not something that happens to them.
Let's get it.
against their will.
Happens to them. Yeah.
Well,
There's these
if they
poor
get-
innocent victims. Why are you being
yeah.
such a simp about this stuff?
Well, this is the thing, and this is why I think it's funny that you pretend to be Christian. It's that you're decidedly less Christ-like than some of the more degenerate atheists that I've known in my day. It's not just that you don't, you don't feel love. Well, hold on. You don't feel love for others, so you reject God's love and you assign that rejection to others, which is weird enough on its own. But you look at virtue and you call it sin. What are you but anti-Christ-like in doing so? Women who sacrifice portions of their life to take care of kids, knowing the odds are stacked against them, you look at them and sneer because you hold hate in your heart.
No,
You are
Go ahead.
someone who would be a better beneficiary of Reverend Jesse's teachings than almost any man I've ever spoken to. It's so obvious the way you deride those you speak of. I could never in my conversations have I spoken of any group who's for what? For raising children with this level of derision?
You just falsely accuse men of abandoning the children.
Many
They
men
can't
do
deal
so.
They can't deal with the women, and
The
they can't
difference
deal
is-
with the hell of dealing with the woman and fighting with the woman over the children.
I respect
You're,
the men
you-
who
no,
do
you-
take care of the children. But
And
you,
anyway, I was
you
not sneering at-
disrespect
I
the
was not
women who
sneering
take
at-
care of the children.
No, but there's nothing to respect there because they're not
That's
taking care of
disrespecting.
the children. Well,
You-
fine, but it's nothing to respect there. That's different from what love is. You don't have love when you're falsely worshiping these women as godly and stuff like that.
I think it
I know
is
you're being
Christ-like
silly.
to
I know
take.
you're just being silly.
No,
And I know you
I'm not
don't
being silly at all.
actually even
It
believe
is
in
Ah,
Christ at
fuck, I
all.
missed all my
You don't
missiles.
know
God
what
damn it.
Christ even
Hey.
was about.
Hey,
Yes.
don't get upset.
Oh, you trying to
I've
fuck with my
warned
robots?
But
Get
you
over
have
here,
no
bro.
clue what Christ is about.
I think I'm actually a little bit more familiar with Christian doctrine than you, it seems. Considering the stuff
How
that you
so?
said about love in
Damn.
this conversation
Fucking
is
shitting on this poor little guy.
concerning. It's interesting. Your statement that love should not have to do with the
Oh, we're
marriage,
done.
people like marry for sex.
Rank
and
C,
you
I
love
did
all that stuff.
worse.
This is actually something closer to
All
what I
right.
expect like a cynic, like Satanist type to say. Somebody who would
Fucking
like
mowed
sneer at
that
the
guy
institution
down.
of marriage and go, there's no love in that. Someone who rejects God's love. But you claim to champion it.
wanna try that one more
making
time. That was
fun
kinda fun.
Of women who take care of their children. It's the Antichrist who will sell you every good thing is bad and bad thing is good, right? Are you an agent of his?
No. I'm making fun more of your false worship
Show
of
me your
these
hand,
females.
the back of your right hand. Would you? Do you have the mark? I want to know. You're laughing at
talking
women
about?
who take care of their children.
But they're not taking care of their children, and they're doing an awful job at it. They've driven the man away, and you're not being honest about it.
How do you know
You're
they've driven
being
the man away?
one-sided.
What if the man drove them away?
Oh, they attack the man, let me just kiss up to these females.
Are you
that
accusing me of being sexist, hey?
No such thing. I'm accusing you of kissing up to women, and that's what Satan did. He kissed up to the woman.
Are you accusing me of being biased towards women instead of equally so?
Right.
Right. So you've said that the women drive the men away. What if the men drive the women away?
I
Is
destroyed that
possible?
shit, didn't I?
It may be possible.
Okay. You seem to make a lot of assumptions. My only statement earlier was that
What assumption have I made?
oftentimes you just said that these women are not doing anything Christ-like because they drive the man away, and
They
then
do.
Well, what if the man drove the woman away?
The
On
fuck?
rare occasion, I imagine it's quite possible. Like he's weak. She's repulsed by weak men. But
Rare
it takes two to
occasion.
tango. I'm dealing with both wrongs, and you're only dealing with one wrong. Just blaming the demonizing
Oh my
the man
god,
and
targets?
worshiping the woman.
I gotta kill
You
all
were
of
the
them?
one who made the presumption, weren't you? I
All
never
right,
said
restart
at
mission.
any point the man
I didn't
drives
know.
the woman away. I only said they separate. You're the one
You
who
said you didn't say they separate. You said the man abandoned the children.
as a
he
thing
couldn't
that
deal with the
can
woman.
happen.
Bro, get the fuck
when
out of
you're
my way.
talking
Why
about
you
the bias
blocking
and
me?
divorce court. But you talked about all single mothers driving their man away.
I didn't say all.
How many would you say?
By most.
Most.
Yeah.
Why exactly would you say that?
Because men can't deal with women. Men and women hate each other.
Are you a homosexual, hey?
No.
I'd like to follow down this line of inquiry if the good man Big Papa Fascist won't stop me. Hey, you seem to have an appalling
It's sexual
aversion.
morality. It's kind of open on this. Go
Thank
ahead.
you. You have an appalling aversion to women hate. You know,
I'm
Adam
not
loved
averse to
Eve.
them. I don't know if he did.
Um,
Had he loved her, he would have corrected her and not eaten the fruit and not listened to her. But he listened to her.
people make
Just like
mistakes.
you're urging people to listen.
People
to
make
women.
mistakes. Also, those who
That's
love
not
women
love, though.
often trust women because when you love people, you trust them. Sometimes that leads to bad decisions being made, but that's the cost of trusting people.
And that would not be love then, because love loves what's right more than just trusting a woman who listened to a serpent.
So, love isn't so. When
Love
two
means
people
loving
trust
what's
each
right
other.
more than the woman.
So if you are in love with a person and you make a mistake together, but you did it because you love the other person, that isn't love. It's retroactively
Right, this-
corrected to be.
That was
Holy
in
shit.
love is not actual. In love is this fake idea. This you said love is a feeling. It's
See,
not a feeling, man.
You're not touched by God, Hake. Even I, an atheist, feel love for others in my heart. You can't feel it because you're numb to the world.
No, I'm not numb to the world.
You're numb to
I'm
God's
just-
love.
How so?
You're deaf to God's word. You're blind to God's light.
Oh, come on.
You're godless,
Why are you
Hake.
talking like this?
Because I'm speaking a language we both understand. I have
No,
to
but-
ask.
I know, but
love.
but
Love's not a
I'm
feeling.
No, it's not a feeling. It's love is love for what's right, love for truth, and treating people right. Treating people the way you would want to be treated.
Is God not love?
Yes.
Are we not God? In the sense
No.
that He created us? God exists in all creation, does He not?
No,
We
we've
are
fallen
of
away
God.
from it. I suppose deep down in there, maybe there's a faint light in some of us, but we're pretty dark. Look around. Even if you just took this in metaphorical terms, we're quite dark.
Your
Quite devil-
mind is
quite
darkened,
devilish.
Hake. The world
You
looks
don't
dark
see-
because you're wearing shades, Hake.
Whatever, man. Then why is there so much divorce and remarriage and misery and all that stuff?
Because we were given free will by God as a way of testing which of us deserved to live in the kingdom of heaven after our passage.
No, come on. Give me your view of it.
My
Not-
view? How do
not
you know
your-
that's not
not
my
your-
view?
Because I think you said you're an atheist.
I don't actually believe in God, but I do
Well,
believe
anyway,
that people can love
Well,
each
I
other.
mean, let's be good faith though, right?
Well,
Like,
no,
what
well,
is your
sure,
faith?
sure. Well, I think that different ideologies tend to frame similar ideas in different language. But no, to frame things in a more direct sense, you know. I feel like the issue here is that like fundamentalists like hate
Oh, I don't wanna do
conflate
this mission. I
a
have
bunch
the-
of ideas.
I have the
and,
training
like,
bot.
make them all the same word.
Beginner
and then
bot,
anytime
bitch
they
bot.
feel like just sort of intuitively opposed to, they can just like say it's against everything. So God
No,
is nature, And love is when you're right, and being right is when you're ethical, and being ethical is when you're with God. So like every idea folds into itself, and there's not actually any way to critique or examine these thoughts or biases because it's utterly orthodox. It's self-referential,
Yeah, but you're throwing around this word love like you know what it is, and you're calling it a feeling.
God
which
damn
a
it!
lot of people do call
I
it
keep
out
wondering what the
their
fuck is the
feeling
missions,
as
but it's
love.
called
It's
sortie.
whatever it is. It's
What the fuck is
extreme
that,
desire
man?
Or attachment or whatever it is, or affection or compassion or whatever. But that's not what actual love is. I'm consistently. I don't know if you're accusing me of being inconsistent, but I'm consistently against the notion that love is a feeling or that sex has to do with love. I understand that sex makes this emotional bond or whatever.
May I
But
ask
go
if
ahead.
you're familiar with the passage John 4:8?
Read it out if you want. Or
He that loveth,
recite it.
of course, he that loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love. And this was manifested the love of God towards us, and that God sent his only begotten Son, and so on and so on. But
Yeah.
4:8 is he that loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love.
Right. And most people don't have any love,
But what about you?
but they think
Jake?
that they love each other. What about me?
You're the one who said you don't feel
Why are
love.
you getting personal?
Well,
What's that?
I feel like your perspective on
What
this
did I
might
say?
be.
No,
I don't-
I'm fine
I
with a
don't-
little bit of it.
Well, I don't think that it's personal. I think what Bosch is trying to do is he's trying to draw out possible inconsistencies based on your worldview, which is exactly what you're doing to him. It's not an ad hoc.
No,
if it
no,
was,
I'm-
I would
I'm-
call it out.
No, I'm fine with. I like ad hominems. I think that they're valid. But
Well, I'm not trying to
go
insult.
ahead. No, you're not insulting. Go ahead. What was your question?
Well, it's only to say, it seems to me like your perspective on this is being motivated by something other than Christian theology. Because under Christian theology, and I really don't think there's room for interpretation here, under Christian theology, you would hold love in your heart for all who walk the earth. You would, understand that God is love and that
Gotcha,
God created
bitch.
the world, made the
Too
world
close to
of
that
his
goddamn
love.
wall.
And there's no way around these things. These are just
What's
fundamental
next?
components.
Where's
of
the
Christian
objective? I
orthodox
forgot.
thinking.
Okay. yeah.
So, but you
So
don't.
me mocking those single mothers, I'm mocking them out of love.
I don't believe that.
Oh, nice. That was
Okay,
it?
that's fine. Go ahead.
How much
Well,
money did I get
yeah,
for that?
I don't think you feel love for these people, and that's fine. You don't have to love everyone.
But it's not feeling love. It's
70.
it's being of love,
Okay.
being for what's right.
It's recognizing virtue, and no matter how
Repair
you slice
costs.
it, Jesus Christ.
Oh,
who
what
tended
is
to
this?
and cared for prostitutes,
Ammunition costs
definitely would not
20K?
have been shunning women for being single mothers.
What the
Mary
fuck?
Magdalene, I'm
No,
pretty
I'm
sure
just-
by any Christian's
Penalties,
definition, was
zero
more touched by
penalties,
sin
thanks.
Than your average single mother. But he,
At least I
who
got
was
an A
willing
rank.
to speak with them, to wash them. You, in your comparatively privileged life, who was not nailed to the cross, who did not live in the old times, you today, sitting on a computer
Only
chair,
A's,
you
baby.
decry single mothers. If Christ could feel that love for Mary, how can you turn away all those women? How can you not see the situation they're in? How can you
Accompanied by
condescend?
friendly
Their
craft.
lives are harder than yours and mine.
But I'm not.
Yeah, just try that.
I don't know if I don't know what you mean by condescend to them. But I'm saying I'm pointing out that they're doing a lot of wrong, and they're not godly. By they're some of them are trying their best, or maybe they're all trying their best, which is not good. They're not doing good. They're trying their best, but doesn't mean they're doing right.
We all sin, but we should celebrate the good in sinners, should we not? Even if you were to believe they had sinned, which I don't
No,
believe all
you
of them
point out.
have.
You don't. You can be mama and like, oh, good for you. You're doing this right. But it's better to call out evil because we have a problem of kissing in this culture of kissing up to mothers and single mothers and stuff like right now. It is pretty widespread. It's not just you. That's why I'm harping on it, not because you're doing it, but because the whole culture is doing it. You're kind of following the crowd on this issue.
The only thing for which I have praised single mothers is the difficulty of raising children as a single mother, which is unquestionably a difficult thing to do.
And that's not
have you-
praiseworthy, though. You
doing
can
good
acknowledge that it's
is
hard,
praiseworthy.
which I acknowledge that it's hard. They're miserable because they don't have the man to help. But that's not praiseworthy.
Oh, I
to
hit
do
him from the
something
front.
that
That's
you're
why I
not even
didn't
meant to
die.
do.
They're
You're meant to
doing
stay
the
with
only
the
thing
man.
they can do.
Maybe you may be right about that because people are helpless
take the freeway.
in their degeneracy. But
How do you know they've been degenerate?
single motherhood is a sign of degeneracy, man.
What if the
Literally.
father divorced them?
When you
In that
guys,
case-
I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
when you guys say degenerate, you mean without morals? Can we agree that that's the definition that we're talking about?
Sure.
Okay,
Right. Of
go
course,
ahead.
this
Yeah,
isn't
it's
this isn't a term,
it-
the
it's a
validity
sign
of which
of-
I subscribe to.
It's
But
a sign
No,
of
no,
failure.
I do understand that. You don't have to agree with it. I'm just asking for the definition we're working within.
But this
That's
is
it.
this is what I mean, Hake. Like again, you make
Go ahead.
every presumption to the woman's detriment. You say they've been degenerate, but they could have been abused by a man and then divorced by him.
Lord.
She could have caught him cheating. You say, "Oh Lord," because to you it's insane. You think, "How could it not have been the woman's fault?" But that right there, what you're doing, is incredibly unchristlike. It was
How so?
Christ's because it was his prerogative to turn towards the needy and the desperate. Those
you gonna
that
do,
sin,
pussy?
look at them and feel sympathy.
Got your shit.
To preach to them,
No.
to reach out to their humanity, to love them and to recognize their love in him. But it's your prerogative to sit from a high horse and judge everyone you don't like, accusing them of sin and degeneracy, even for the things they're doing to make up for their possible character flaws.
You're just making up stuff. You're
I'm-
judging me.
The word of Christ?
You didn't mention one word from so-called Christ that you don't even believe in.
I know that I believe
Single-
Christ existed.
I'm pointing out that by and large, single mothers, it's their fault they're in that situation and they need to take responsibility for it. Women don't tend to admit their role in
Real hard to
the,
admit, ain't it?
in what goes wrong in a relationship.
How many
And
times-
you-
Get those
Experience
reverse
have you
jointed
had with
legs,
women
the
out of
spring
curiosity?
chicken.
I've heard a ton of women call into the Jesse show.
That
I've
shit
talked to
looks
them myself.
crazy.
Have you ever seen a
These
woman
little chicken
acknowledge
legs.
that she was wrong?
Yeah.
And it was meaningful, and she actually, and she wasn't. It wasn't just lip service.
Literally, yes, like a normal thing, yeah. Well, do you
I don't know, you're
interact
not
with
being
women
honest.
outside of the call-in
Yes.
show for your far right, like
Yeah.
the radio
Yes,
broadcast?
and it's difficult for them to admit they're wrong.
Interesting. Do you think it might be possible that you have a biased perspective on the issue that is causing you to act in ways that are contradictory not only to reality itself but to God's love?
You think that this? You think it's reality that women admit they're wrong and are so responsible?
The fact that you
Let me see
can
what's
even say
making
that in
my-
a chiding tone is so self-parodying that I don't even feel I need to answer. You really
So
feel
you
that
think-
women can poop? Well, I don't know, Hake. Talk to a woman.
I have. I've talked to plenty.
Do you think
and
they
it's
can poop?
difficult. Occasionally, they can admit that they're wrong. Quite rare, though.
All right.
It's difficult.
How many times, out of curiosity, have
this
you admitted
pretense-
you're wrong in this conversation? You know, I don't believe either of us have, us men. Maybe you are acting more female-minded than either of us is even willing to acknowledge.
I know, but this is a pretense that these women are innocent victims, and they're, by and large, they're not.
No, you chide. I think that women are people, and people are flawed. I think that most people, by and large, don't meet my standard of good human behavior. But that doesn't change the fact that the decision to take care of children is a noble one. It's very difficult to take
No.
care of children, you know. It's very, very difficult. I don't think that I'm cut out for it, which is why I'm not a father. It would be very easy for
Doesn't
me to be
affect
a
my
father if I
stats
wanted
that
to be, and I
much,
chose not
except
to,
my
because
defense.
it's just a
Fuck.
responsibility that I felt that I wasn't cut out for in my current state. Whether or not that reflects
I've-
on me is immaterial. I think it's important to be good to the children, but I know how hard it is. These women are sacrificing. But
I
you
didn't
laugh.
say that it's not hard. I'm saying that it's laughable, that it's noble, that they're doing it out of nobility.
It is a noble thing to do no matter their intentions, but why, out of curiosity,
I don't
do you
know
think
if
they're
it's a
doing
noble
it,
thing to do, regardless of their intentions, to take the children away from the father.
how are they taking the so again, you've made another assumption. I just said
You're
they
the
have
one making the
children.
assumption that they desert the children, that they abandon the children. That's an assumption.
I only said that's the reason for a large
Assumption?
portion of the disproportionate results in family courts. I'm
That's
only
not a
speaking
reason.
of a
Abandonment
situation.
is not. That's an accusation.
I'm only speaking
It's an
of
assumption,
the,
Vosh. You fucked up.
of the situation of a
Let's get some
woman
guns.
raising children as a single
Right.
mother. So ignore
You
like
accuse
you
the
keep
man of
assuming,
abandoning.
No, I
You
said that
accuse
many.
the man of abandoning and praise the woman as noble for taking the children.
Let's say in this particular.
That's ridiculous.
Let's say I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying here. These are incomparable examples, but I'll try again. Let's say this is a situation where the partners split mutually. The man did not take the children because he felt that the mother would do a better job. They split because of irreconcilable differences. So both of them are equally contributing to the divorce. The woman chooses to take the children when the man would have been willing to, but the woman thinks she can do a better job. Do you feel that's noble?
I've never heard of such a case.
Really?
This is like an imaginary case where the man thinks that the woman would do a better job.
This is,
I'll just
believe
test my AC on the
most
missions.
common type of
Get money
resolution.
while I'm at it.
It may be the most common type of resolution, but the woman puts the man through hell. And that's why
See, no wonder you don't believe
The
sexism
woman
exists,
puts the
Hank,
man
because
through
that,
hell. Sounds like
you know,
Jordan
allows
Peterson.
you to defy
What are
any
we gonna do with
possible
that then?
attempt at introspection
What are we
or
gonna
otherwise
do?
engage in.
well, look at you. Look at you. Why are you following the crowd, worshiping the woman?
I don't
Worshipping?
believe I worship anyone.
I worship
you do.
feet.
Can you define worship for me?
Does this thing have unlimited ammo? Because that'd be
Calling
awesome.
them noble when there's nothing noble about them. You don't even know the
No.
situation. You're just
I
calling it a
only
noble
said-
act because they're taking care of the kids and it's so hard.
I said an
That's
act
one
is
example.
noble. So that
Being a
act
liberal-
is also noble when a man does it. I've never said it's only noble when a woman does it. I know men who are single
I wanna test my
fathers
kick.
who chose to take the children, and I believe they're noble for doing so immensely.
Oh, there's the
So this
reverse
is not a
jointed kick.
female exclusive
That shit is
thing.
nice.
Gentlemen, I know that this has been a spirited and fun debate. We're gonna have to start wrapping it down. We've got
Oh,
a ton
goodness.
of super chats.
Oh, look at
We have
that.
A ton of super chats to get to, and
517,
also,
not bad.
You know, here at the Crucible, we do things a little bit differently. I take timestamps and I take down.
Oh,
moderator
look at that
questions. We've
jump.
always done this. When your closing statements
That
are
is
done,
nice.
We'll ask some moderator questions, and then we'll move on to the super
Look at
chats.
those missiles.
Hake, you went ahead and opened. Bosch, I'm going to let you close first. Go ahead.
Sure. Yeah, so at the end of the day, there are two things that I want to drive home here. If we're looking at the world from a purely utilitarian lens, if we're interested in what makes the world a better place by analyzing existing data, taking a look at, statistical information and anecdotal reports that you work out into case studies, however you want to look at things, if we're to look at it in a scientific way, freedom of choice, generally speaking, is better for society.
That's a pretty nice
Sometimes
build. I like that.
freedom of choice leads to
Get
bad
some
outcomes.
airtime.
That is, of course, the nature of freedom. You can't disregard the validity of freedom because sometimes people make the choice.
Got some nice
of
legs. I just don't know
do
what
bad
generator
things.
it is.
That's the point of
I gotta
freedom.
test that
You
out.
do your best to mitigate the negative outcomes and, benefit the positive ones. The main issue that I have is the religious text that goes
Wait, let me
into
check
this.
the legs that I have
think,
again.
At least for those of you who have a mind towards the religious, it's fairly evident that Hake is, well, non-denominational is not a tremendous surprise to me. I don't think that his understanding of Christianity is very well developed at all. I think that's largely because he likes having a religious pretext for his pre-existing biases, but I genuinely believe that his worldview is closer to that of the Antichrist than that of Christ. His disregard of virtue,
Yeah, it
his
just
hatred
zips
of
right back
nobility,
up. I love
and
that.
his automatic derision towards the concept of God's love being present in all things. These aren't just my opinions. I admit that I'm an atheist. These are unacceptable pretextual positions to hold for a Christian.
I think I want to
The-
make my
these are
guns,
not-
my
you would-
missiles
if-
red.
To express these would get you
Red and black.
shunned from religious communities. I think that Hake holds a lot of hate in his heart, and a lot of the religious bullshit is just a way of him having a non-empirical justification for those positions, one that he does not have to defend. It's just like it's empirically incorrect, and frankly, it's heretical, and I don't appreciate it.
Oh, you're silent, buddy.
I actually muted myself by accident. But anyway, hey, go ahead with your closing statement, and then we're going to move into the Q&A. We don't expect that the debate necessarily is going to stop just because the Q&A is there. We just consider the debate closed. Go ahead.
Oh,
All right, well, I
purple.
appreciate it. Thank you, Bosch.
That's cute.
It's been nice talking with you again. And thanks to Andrew. This sexual morality thing, again, it's a fake idea. There's morality.
That's
and the sex
cool.
thing is
My guns I might
a
make
reality
blue.
of life, and it has to be done under the umbrella of God's order, which is in a marriage with some self-control and with
I like that
some
green, though. That is
acknowledgement
nice.
of the danger that comes with it, and the selfishness
Yeah, that's cool.
that comes with it. People tend to worship one another or each other's bodies or themselves, and it's a bad idea. I think that we should be coming
Save
together
twice
and
just in
having
case.
families and children and becoming responsible at younger ages again, and we should bring back some shame to society and
Shame?
not be so concerned with
Don't shame me.
having this
Why are you gonna do
freedom
that?
to be immoral and evil and throw our lives away, having this just degenerate sex with each other so freely. I
Oh
don't
God,
think that,
no.
no
I
fault
hate
divorce
that.
has been good for society. I don't
Never
know the
happens to
stats
me.
on it, but divorce and remarriage has become accepted by the Christians, and I think that's what has opened the door to
What is expansion?
homosexuality and all of that degeneracy.
Oh, I get resilience?
Which has only spread
Increasing
misery, but people
defensive
don't
performance
realize they're
until it
miserable when
exceeds
they're
its
young 'cause they can get
durability
away
or
with it
time limit.
until they're old, and even
Whoa.
even some old people are pretty blind and brainwashed and
Okay.
disgusting. Just look at a lot of the
We'll get a little
liberals
bit of
today,
that.
running the
Can I buy
country
more?
into the ground.
Nope.
Pornography is a bad idea. People should be avoiding it. People should be fleeing from temptation, not just toying with temptation. Same thing with food. Vosh brought up a very good point about food being a problem that's unacknowledged and has become kind of accepted in the so-called Christian culture because it's not as obvious the problems, and it's kind of self-inflicted. I don't think that this sex thing has been good. It's put the woman as God, and gets so full of herself. And men and women do. I don't care what Bosch says. They do hate each other. You just look around. They do hate each other. They sometimes feel like they love each other, but then how does it turn into hate? I think everybody can relate to that. And yes, I do understand that people can't control themselves, and we have mercy for them. But this subsidizing and
Oh, it's so
and this
fucking late.
giving
Oh my
to
God.
people and
I gotta get
subsidizing
to sleep. I
contraception
can't
and
even play
condoms
anymore.
And,
Holy shit.
and single motherhood and all that stuff. It has not been a good thing. We have a whole lot of corruption all up and down the courts and everywhere. We should be fleeing from temptation. We should stop shun gossip and backbiting.
I'll do one more fight. I'll
Don't
fight
seek
that
revenge.
AC bitch one more
Avoid even
time.
the
What
appearance
the?
of evil. Don't listen to women, and don't listen to snakes.
Well, my new pretty
And not
build.
even those in your head, because the imagination is evil, and thoughts and emotions can really mislead you, especially in the context of sex.
Thank you so much for that closing statement, Hake. Of course, you and I both know we have a little bit of disagreement, me looking through the Orthodox prism. But I do want to get into these questions because I think that they're necessary. I think both of you, it was a very spirited debate and I enjoyed it, but there was a little bit on both sides where I think you didn't address each other's points, and I want to get to both of them. So, man, this is for you, Hake. Man thinks woman would be better at rearing kids. You seem to have some contention with that, but it is something that happens often. Vosh is right. I did go ahead and look it up. There is a huge precedent for the amount of men, when they're polled, when they're asked their reason for why they didn't show up to court or this or that for a custody battle, that they thought that the mother would be better at rearing the children than them. How do you
Very
respond to
interesting.
that?
I accept it. I don't think
Ooh.
I kind of have questions about it, but very frequently a man will
Keep
be
killing
more
this poor guy over and
magnanimous
over.
and will just say that. And honestly, education today has favored girls and women. Now women are kind of more successful, and Bosch did make a point that I perhaps scoffed at, but it is true. Like, men kind of want to just live that bachelor life. They're shallow and empty and selfish. So it does for sure take two to tango. But my main point was, and I think I've made it, was that there are a lot of men who want their children, but they just don't, they're tired of fighting, or they can't afford, or whatever. There's a lot of miserable men in that. in that world.
Okay, Hake. So, but by the way, I'm going to be picking on both of you, but this is just me picking on Hake for a minute.
I'm fine.
You said, have you ever heard a woman admit that they were wrong at the 1 hour 25-minute mark? Hake, yes. My wife has humbly admitted when she was wrong multiple times, but it does always cost me cookies. Okay, no matter what. Okay, it still costs me the baking. Either which way. And maybe I just wonder if what you're trying to get across there is that, you know, both men and women, we have trouble being humble. That's just a true statement. And sometimes humbleness comes with bitterness. Wouldn't you say that that's true?
Yes, but it's more. I think that it is a lot more difficult for women. Your wife, if you don't mind my outing her Twitter handle, is it not great for patriarchy?
Yeah, but
So she's
I think,
already halfway there.
But I need you to understand that her primary argument often is that we need patriarchs, and
This
that
guy.
most men are not worthy of being patriarchs in the modern era. So this is, you know,
But she already
you can
knows the
take-
order. Is my point.
Yeah,
And so
but